right, everybody, welcome back to the race shop. Our producer doing what she does the best. If you weren't here, Kevin, would you believe it?
I don't understand now why you say these take 2 hours.
The first hour is just us getting back on the air.
I think with all the admin AI, you should make a video of Laura's BMW crashing into a pole with a sign that says, "We'll be right back."
I'm pretty sure it's going to happen regardless. We just follow her around. So everybody, thank you for coming back. But I was telling Kevin off the air. He's like, yeah, everybody's going to go away. I said, no one's going to go away because they're used to this every single Tuesday night. So everybody, welcome back. Hopefully we haven't.
I'm not touching anything.
Yeah, please. I can't see anything. So if you want to tell me if, no, I mean, can you guys hear us now? Obviously. So if you can hear us, let us know. But we were trying to wrap up a little bit. You can hear us, right, Laura?
Oh, yeah.
That's all that matters if Laura hears us.
Yep.
We were talking a little bit about Natalie Decker. We'll finish that conversation up. What I was trying to say.
Everybody says yes, they can hear us. Craig
Said, yeah. You've been around it all your life. I've been around it, especially at Daytona. She's like, why did he come back up the track? He has no control over that. You're crashing at 170 mile an hour. You're slowing down. It goes back up the track. That's what they do on there. So her saying and screaming across the radio like that, in all honesty, I think it's time for her to step down and learn more. I know she's getting the money to do what she's doing from the family and friends and all that stuff. But, you know, with IHRA starting a late model series, you have other series out there that are probably suitable for her to learn to get back where she's at. And you know, and Haley Deegan, when she stepped down and she was doing other things, she was having the same exact result. Not saying that's what's going to happen to Natalie, but it's not looking good.
Well, I think at this point it's just part of the show. It's not.
Yeah.
You know.
What's Robusto's first name?
Isabella
Robusto. I don't know if you've been watching her.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe she's going to be a talent. I really do. If it wasn't for her car breaking, she probably was going to win the race. And then what's Corey Haim's girlfriend's name?
Taylor something.
Yeah, she's actually really good too.
Eva Dizzy's really good too.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have three of those right there that we just mentioned that have a chance to win it every week if their cars don't break down. Kristen Castro, Deegan looks better than her now. At least Haley can finish. He's got a point. And now, Castro, how the hell are you doing, man? So I'm glad everybody. Natalie. So Van Dalen said Natalie's more worried about pandering and showing off her makeup and outfits and being. That's true. She is using that to sell merchandise, which she said she wants to be into that business, and she's using racing to get it, but it's not going to help. It's not going to. I seen a comment that said, was she putting on her makeup on when the 16 seconds? So
listen, it doesn't matter if she does good or bad. We're talking about it.
That's it. That's all. You know, in this industry, that's what it matters, is that we're talking about it, good or bad. And Kevin Ruick used to say that. Kevin Ruick taught me years ago, bad publicity is the best publicity. Right. If you know how to spin it the right way. He said you could spend $1,000 on a radio ad or TV ad and it'll get nothing. But do something wrong and screw something up and you will have 5,000 people sitting in the stands the following week. He was very good at that stuff. So everybody sees that Kevin Myers is in studio with us today. We will get to some Painesville Speedway talk, some talk about what's going on at the track. I had a chance to go there last weekend when Sean Brock was in there. Did he finish?
Yeah, I believe he's coming to paint tomorrow.
Is he really?
Sean's really helped out. You know, there's been a couple people that have reached out and offered to help here and there because obviously you're trying to do everything on a budget. So
yeah,
Sean came in and mudded and taped the.
He did such a great job. You can make that an apartment and let people live in there in the off season to make some money.
It's really nice. The girls taking the tickets.
Yeah.
Before with the old building, I think it was one of the original buildings.
Wow.
It was just cramped space.
And the old brick building. Yeah, yeah.
And, so they got.
You remember how you used to go in there? You just
Yeah,
squeeze way in.
I couldn't fit through there.
Yeah.
Just get turned sideways and just kind of squeeze through.
But
Trying to make it nice, for the people that work there.
and it looks really nice. That ticket booth
Plus,
looks.
it opened up the concourse area, quite a bit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We're gonna have car shows and whatnot, and then Mallory Nails is bringing the Froyo truck up. We're gonna have her there, and she'll park right there in the main area.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to some more Painesville Speedway stuff. Nicastro, KJM. Yeah, stop it, Nicastro. Stop it. Stop it. But let's talk a little bit more about the NASCAR Daytona 500 and the truck weekends. All the ThorSport trucks had good equipment. Everybody. I thought Ty was going to pull it off because you know how lucky he gets sometimes.
Yeah.
And I really thought one more lap. I believe it was his race.
Well, listen, first thing I said, because I'm gonna chat with all them guys, and I said if that finish line was like it is at Talladega,
Yeah.
a different ending.
So at Daytona, you think these guys, when they're sitting in these cars, they're thinking, they're looking in the mirror. I don't think I can look in the mirror, but you think they're looking in the mirror going, he's going to take me out. We're coming down. They're going to crash me out. And he's such a good driver, and he knows how to read people.
Yep.
But I really thought that was going to be his race. Our buddy Rich Lucius with Cole Butcher. I think Cole, for being the first time in that truck and working with Rich, I think he did pretty good. I think if he gets that underneath him, he gets that groove going, I think he's going to do good. But today you had Garcia was on the pole, right?
Yes.
So
ThorSport guys, all 4 of them are in the top 7, starting the race tomorrow at 1:30.
So Garcia getting the pole. Ben Rhodes second, right? Didn't Ben get second?
Oh man, I gotta pull it up.
I think he did. I think Ben got second, but Ty was right there, man. And then listen, it's Atlanta. To me, Atlanta's like Daytona. It's gonna happen. That wreck.
Jake is first, Ben is second, Cole is 6th, Ty is 7th.
Wow. So that's pretty good.
Right in the mix is Kyle Busch starting 3rd. So ThorSport guys are starting ahead of Kyle Busch.
There was someone else that was qualifying today's race that kind of threw me off. Who do we have in the top 10? Oh, Corey Heim. Corey Heim's going to race this in a truck, but
Yeah.
he's not in a truck he was last year. So I think he's going to be struggling a little bit. I'll be
I
surprised.
think it'll be fun.
You think so?
He's starting 20th for Tricon Garage.
Tricon, that's who he's running.
Tricon, they got good equipment. So
And I
it'll
think
be fun.
I would like to see him up there.
He's starting right behind Carson, host of ours. So right there's gonna be the first wreck.
There's our wreck. So what?
So that'll-
One of the things I wanted to, Brock is a good dude, Aaron. He really is. One of the things I wanted to talk about was viewership this year. And I give a lot of credit to Michael Jordan for the viewership and everything that's going on because, man, NASCAR was going down the wrong road. They know it. They know it. The troublemaker's gone, Steve Phelps, who I believe is just the worst of the worst.
About that.
Yeah, I just can't get over that these guys. But Tony Stewart, give him a lot of credit, man, because him and Steve O'Donnell have this little riff going on because of Steve O'Donnell. And Steve O'Donnell was the one who approved the NASCAR truck race for us in 2004. So I really don't want to talk bad about Steve O'Donnell, man, but damn, bro. But the viewership was up a little bit, 7.4 million viewers. The truck race had 1.4, which was up 37%. And I say this all the time, and I don't know if it was just because it was Friday night, but I say this all the time. The trucks are the entertainment of the 3 series.
Oh,
I totally believe that.
That and it was the Cletus effect. You can't lie. I mean,
But listen, did you see Cletus and Greg Biffle? And Greg Biffle was driving him around Daytona.
Yeah.
And he said, man, don't ever put that truck below this yellow line or you're going to crash. And what did he do? He went below that yellow line.
Right.
But, if you think back to that yellow line with Daytona or Charlotte, when those guys get below that yellow line, it's catastrophe.
Right.
It really is, man.
Yeah, 'cause you got to get back up. You're running out of time in a hurry.
In their minds, as a driver, I think I would probably do the same thing because you feel it go down and you panic in your brain. And the first thing you want to do is what? turn it right. And then they launch into the wall. So, Laura, what are you doing? You're acting all panicked. Oh, Lord.
I mic work.
Here she goes. She's trying to get her mic on.
Hello.
Nobody invited you into this party.
I don't have a mic.
Good.
So but the one thing I wanted you guys to talk about real quick before you guys get into local racing is the controversy of whether Cletus deserved to be in the truck race or he only got that ride because of his social media followers.
That's one of the things I like about the trucks over the Cup is the separation between talent and equipment.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not all top tier teams.
Right,
top
right.
tier drivers. So you have the separation. That's kind of what we're looking to do
Right.
this year with combining a couple classes. You get some slow cars and some fast cars, and you can get some action on a racetrack.
The only thing that irritates me about, I think it was the ARCA race where they were saying, was it the ARCA race? They were coming across the radio and saying they don't want to run with them.
Yes.
Who in the hell do you think you are? You're in the ARCA series.
Mhm.
You were that guy at one time.
Right.
When you were out there, and I wish we could find out who was saying it.
They wouldn't say that. The pit reporter was just like numerous drivers don't
Yeah.
want to work with him.
But at the end of the day, every driver was in that spot.
Right.
And you had other drivers. Back in the day, Tony Stewart and all that would come across the radio, and I'm going to use Tony's words. I'm not fucking riding with this guy and hook up with somebody else. So everybody's gone through it. But in the ARCA, I've never heard that in the ARCA series. That's what the ARCA series is for.
Right.
NASCAR gets you in the ARCA series and Ron Drager and all them. So you got ARCA, trucks, Xfinity, Cup.
Mhm.
But the ARCA series is for that. That's what it's for.
They wouldn't have let Cletus drive that truck at Daytona if they didn't think he was.
Exactly.
So,
But how
Did Natalie get in?
money.
Well, honestly, she has previous experience there. She's run at Daytona before, so she can fall back on that. Has she run great?
But has she ever finished in the top 20?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
But David Pierce said, "Go, Kevin. We love you." Gay? No, I'm kidding, Dave.
So gay.
But for those guys in that ARCA series to come across the radio and say that, it's so insulting to anybody that wants to get into that series.
Right.
Because that series is for you to come in there and do that stuff, to learn.
Right.
If you don't feel that he is good enough to be in that series, tell him.
Right.
Don't let him out there. But obviously, ARCA felt that, or I should say NASCAR felt he was ready for that. He ran the trucks. He made a mistake he'll never make again.
Right.
He will never dip below that yellow line through a corner like that ever again. We'll never see it. But it's just crazy that those guys, back in the day in the 80s and 70s, 80s, 90s at Painesville, they said it to you after. But at that point, your front end was already pushed up to the windshield
Right.
because I got tired of you screwing around up front and they pushed you out of the way. To tell a guy that's at Daytona that's trying his best to do what he's doing, it's just not fair to Cletus. And I'm not a Cletus fan. I don't like him. I just don't like him. Like he probably wouldn't like me because I'm a smart mouth,
Right.
but I just don't like him. But I sure in the hell wouldn't. If he was in front of me at Daytona, I'm going to hook up with him. I'm going to try to I'm not going to just go, hey, I can't get around this guy. I'm not going to hook up with him. I'm going to fall back.
Right.
Not a million years. So, yeah, Aaron said Natalie Decker's best finish ever at Daytona was a 5th place finish.
Where? Like
That had to be a
what
big
series?
wreck, and there was only like
Probably
6
a
cars
Harvard.
left.
'Cause I can't.
That's the only thing I could see.
Probably an ARCA.
So NASCAR had,
ARCA, her best finish ever was 7th. So I'm trying to find where.
but with the ratings with NASCAR this weekend or last weekend was a great turnout for viewership. To me, the truck race won it all. They to me stuck out. The Cup race, you and I were talking before we went on the air. I thought it was a snoozer,
Yeah.
except for the last lap. But you can't fix that. That's what Daytona is.
Well, they had that. Was that last year? There was another race where they were riding around, saving so much fuel
Yeah.
that a 3-car pack that had pitted caught the entire main pack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like,
But I bet you anything
okay.
by next Daytona that will be fixed.
oh, yeah.
I think they'll fix it because they know that the fans are complaining about it. You know, they know what's going on.
I think Dale Jr. said had offered up a way to fix that.
Wallencheck, I'll give you a shout out, bro. What do you need? Wallencheck. Man, you could have been here tonight producing with us, man, because this one crashed the show again. And don't forget, too, Wallencheck has a show. I don't know what nights it's on. If you want to plug it, Wallencheck, you can definitely do that.
I think he's on Sundays.
Is he on Sundays?
Uh-huh.
So, Dave, yeah. And Dave said, you're his boy, Kevin. That's my boy, Kevin. So let's see, Wallencheck. I just don't want to miss comments and get people
I'm
pissed.
trying to get him on the screen.
Harkins. Bill Harkins is a perfect person to talk about this. Bill, so take a breath and let's talk about this a second. You've been around racing all your life. You have crew chiefed, you have spotted, you have done everything up in the ranks, Bill. What would you have done if Cletus was your driver and you heard other drivers across the scanner or the radio saying, don't hook up with him because he's dangerous? You, Bill, as a crew chief, as a spotter, what would you do if you heard other people up on that stand telling people not to race with Cletus? I really want to hear his take on it. And we might be wrong because, man, I trust Bill. He's been around it. He's helped, I think, I can't think of the guy's name. He was in the Hooters Cup car. They own
I always forget.
the Brooklyn Chevrolet dealership. I can't think of his damn name now. But
That guy's got a 68 HK 500 Mustang convertible that he had because we went out to
the guy at the Brooklyn dealership, yeah.
no, the guy that owned the Hooters Cup.
Oh yeah.
Mayo and I took Dan Shervinick's outlaw car out to their shop
Yeah,
to square it up and whatnot.
yeah.
And this guy had this Mustang and it only had a couple hundred miles on it. I was talking to a friend of mine. The seats alone in that thing are worth like 10 grand a piece.
Holy shit!
It's just sitting over there in the corner.
Wow.
Milstein? Did he say Milstein? What's that name?
No, what he said, Milstein.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, but what was your driver's name, Bill? What was the driver that from Don's Brooklyn Chevrolet?
The young, skinny guy, dark hair. I remember.
Yeah, dude. No, didn't his dad own the dealership, the Brooklyn Chevrolet dealership? If I'm wrong, I apologize. Let's see. Let's wait until he comes on there. David Pierce, Kevin need to.
He said no.
What was his name though? What was your driver's name in the Hooters Cup car?
I thought you said that. At Milstein? Is that what
No, it wasn't Milstein. It was something else. I think he's talking about Kevin. What Kevin's talking about.
Okay, sorry.
So.
I have to attend to some important matter.
Important matter. So Bill said, honestly, I would have laughed my ass off at them because he can wheel a car. I believe that he can too. But Bill, in your days of racing and being up on a spotter stand or crew chief, and we know you've heard that before. Hey, this guy's a little dangerous, back off. But was it a lot, Bill? Did you guys hear that a lot with people like that? I can't remember who was like Ernie Irvan, perfect example. Nobody wanted to run with Ernie Irvan when he started because he crashed everybody. So nobody wanted to run with Ernie. So the producer just went running out the door. That's not a good sign. Let's see what Bill said. We had Baker, AJ Frank, Jack Bailey, Stain Amont, Tyler Young.
I think Bailey sounds familiar.
Is that
I
it?
think might have been driving the car when we went out there that year.
Okay.
Sure it was.
You know what, Bill? It was at Mansfield. I think you guys rented the track. It was an orange and white car. Was that it?
Yeah.
Was it orange and white?
Probably 03, 04, something like
Yeah. So let me see. Bill said, no, not at all, to be honest. Not at the levels we ran at. Yeah, it's crazy, man. So, Bill, let's say you're the spotter of Cletus and you hear rumblings up on top of the tower of don't run with him or this and that. Do you say anything to those guys or you just keep quiet and don't say anything? But yeah, I would, not Jack Young Racing. Bailey's owned a construction company. Okay. So she went running. You shut our light off, Laura. The producer just killed us. So we'll get to local racing in Painesville here in a second. I just want to close the chapter on this with Cletus, because I think it was just completely unfair on the way they treated him. Because they all been there at one time or another. They all been there. So, and I'm pretty positive that all of us at one time especially Painesville, back in the day, you either had it or you didn't. If you didn't have it, they pushed you out of the way.
Yep.
When the green come out, you got to the back stretch. If you weren't going, you were going to the infield. You were going to the wall out of the way. So Bill Harkins said, I would tell them to run with the best line available. I mean, it makes sense. Oh, you got us pizza?
Which one do you want?
You got us pizza?
I did.
Where did you get us pizza from?
From somebody suggested Bada Bing in Painesville.
It's my new favorite pizza.
So
Kevin,
here we
this is the pizza you were talking about last week.
We aim to please here at
Now, before I bite into this pizza, everybody, let me show you. Kevin was bragging about Bada Bing. The last time I got it, it was greasy as anything, but it don't even look like the style pizza I got before. It looks completely
When
different.
they first opened up, it was all right. I mean, I didn't really care for it. They used like ground up sausage.
Yeah.
Like crumbs.
Yeah. It looks like they changed the crust and everything on it. The crust looks different. It looks thick underneath.
Are you guys like Dave Portnoy or what? Like,
No.
just eat.
How dare you?
I know. Go ahead, eat. You can eat on the air. It's okay. That's what we do here.
Take a bite.
Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Is it like a 7-2?
Listen, when it comes to food, I wouldn't lie to you.
It's not bad. Does anybody else eat Bada Bing here in Painesville? Let's see if anybody else eats it. So he said no sound again? Oh my God, Bill, you made me panic. He got it. Lord, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything.
I wasn't here. Like
Bill,
my heart just stopped again. I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Like I was going to get pizza. What'd I do? Okay.
So let's get in some local racing. As you guys all know, I took a job with IHRA trying to rebuild all circles.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Trying to turn. Robert said they have the best Italian sub, so I'll have to try that. But with IHRA, my job is to get some tracks open, fix them. So we have some big things coming up. The IHRA Stock Car Series on March 21st will be at Pulaski Speedway. We'll get you the schedule. We'll put it up on the screen with everything that's going on there, man. But this late model series, so they call it Pro Late Model and Late Model, I believe. It's like a late model sportsman. It's kind of like one of our late models from 10 years ago. They're all running a great motor, a 525 crate motor. I don't know if you know anything about that motor, but it's supposed to be very strong.
I saw there was a random post come across my feed the other day where somebody was in the late models. They were testing the new 525s coming off the 850 horse motor.
Mhm.
And they said with the weight brakes and whatever they were getting, they're just comparable, more reliable.
What I really like about this series.
I gave you a lopsided water. Look at that.
All right. So if you would like to be a producer of a podcast, send in your resumes. But Jeff Hope said they have great calzones. But getting rid of the bump stops and bringing the talent back to the crew chief and the driver and the cost of it for this late model series that iTray is doing is going to be phenomenal. I believe just getting rid of the bump stop is going to make it affordable.
I completely agree with that too, because I know a few guys that, they run the supers, and that was the first thing they said is like, all right, IHRA, we're not gonna be able to run our stuff,
Yeah.
Which if you want to cut costs and you got to take away from the guys that are running
Yeah.
that stuff.
My thought is if you want to run that stuff, there's other series out there
Right.
down south you can go run.
Right.
But this is to bring everybody complains and says we need affordable racing again.
Yeah.
So IHRA, they're bringing back affordable racing. It's really with Kevin, a $2 million purse at the end of the year. the top guys are going to split $2 million. It's got to be just probably a tad off of what you guys are doing at Paynesville. Just you guys around the
Close.
yeah. It's got to be around a $2 million mark. Scott Reynolds just fell out of the recliner. Oh, don't say that.
Listen, if that was available, we'd dump it all in, I guarantee it.
And I believe that's what everybody's, especially late model drivers, that's all they've been complaining about, the cost. We can't afford to go late model racing anymore. And you can tell by the car counts. So I believe that this series, the Horton, Tim and Daniel Horton, I believe they're doing the right thing by doing this. It might take a year or two to get where they want to be.
Right.
But I believe at Pulaski, we're going to have 40 cars in each division. I really do.
I think honestly, an affordable late model pretty much going to become your new street stock division.
Yeah.
You know,
Harkins, did you look at the rules at all for the IHRA stock car series for the late models and that? If you did, what's your opinion of it? Van Dalen says great vibes for Paynesville this year, getting back to their grassroots. And the folks that foundated and originated the track just hasn't had that feel. And he's absolutely right. And that's where Scott is going with it. And I think Scott and Kevin, they understand that. They understand that's the direction from day one. And I don't think it's wavered at all. But let's get into a little bit about Kevin Myers. Let's talk about Kevin Myers for a second. So everybody open up your beers. Bill, go take a look at it. The IHRA Stock Car Series. You can find them on Facebook and look. Tim Horton, Bill, worked with Bobby Hamilton and all those guys. His son Daniel's involved now. So I believe it's going to be a great series. But let's talk a little bit about Kevin. Kevin, born and raised where?
Born in Paynesville.
Like in Township Park?
No, I was born in Paynesville City, as far as I know. So
If you were born in Township Park, would you admit to being born in Township Park?
absolutely.
I'm proud of you for saying that.
Absolutely.
I'm proud of you for saying it because most people wouldn't do that.
Listen, if you're born in Township Park, you can always blame it on Township Park.
But at the end of the day, yes. So
Moved around a lot, grew up around here, between Willoughby and Madison. Spent a lot of time in Madison, Menor on the lake, just moved.
So are you a Redbird at the end of the day?
Yeah, I spent, 3 years in Redbird, I think, total. Not consecutive.
So I went to Redbird Elementary, then I went over to, was it a junior high across the street? The middle school? The middle school. Do you remember back in those days, and you're going to remember this because we're the same age.
No,
Almost.
Shut up, Laura.
you're older.
Remember they used to do the bike competitions in the summertime? You get your bicycle and go over there and you could win a pin or something like that. They would do it over at elementary school. Dude, kids don't do that crap anymore, man.
No.
I have to say this pizza is really good. I'm sorry for doubting you, bro.
It's probably number 2, I think. This side was probably
Yeah, that place is amazing.
Hawaiian pizza.
Did you try it?
No, not yet.
You haven't tried the pizza yet?
What did you say was the best?
Angelo's.
Okay.
The west side.
The Hawaiian pizza?
I had the applause going.
Was that a
so.
Hawaiian?
That was the Acapulco?
Acapulco.
Yeah.
With pineapple on it.
Oh, my God.
I have become a pineapple on pizza person.
Have you really?
Bougie.
You just heard that live on the air. Kevin likes pineapple on his pizza. So let's see. Bill Harkins, you never needed a trailer to race at Paynesville if you lived in the park. Amen, man. I can't tell you, back in the day, watching all them drivers pulling in with their race cars.
No.
Now, when I say pulling in, I mean driving them.
Yeah.
Not on a trailer, not tow barred. They were driving them.
Good old Mr. Marvin.
On there. Dude.
I think he still tow bars his stuff in there.
Man, does anybody have any more U-Haul tow bars laying around where you would twist the tops?
Yeah.
I bet you someone has one of those laying around in their yard right now. Probably Jeff Marvin, probably. So you grew up in Madison, moved around a little bit. When did you find your love for racing? Do you remember that moment, what it was?
Always a girl.
Damn,
Always
bitches.
A girl. 95. Zach's mom.
Yeah.
I'm Zach's dad. That's all I'm doing around here.
Oh my God, you're Zach Myers' dad?
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
World famous Zach Myers, though.
There's no way that's your son.
Started hanging around with her, and she was best friends with Randy Hedrick, Earl's brother,
Yeah,
and she brought me down here one day.
that was it, huh?
Every weekend.
So you never went to Painesville until her? You never went?
I went once. I might have been 7, 8 years old. In front of my mom's, her husband raced figure eight. I don't remember his name. I think his name was Kenny. I do remember he had a purple Torino, and on the back of it said, "Don't follow me, I'm lost too." So if anybody knows who that was, I would like to know. And that was the first time I've ever been there. So I remember that part of it.
Bill Harkins says, how many remember Dominic driving the figure eight car from Eastlake to Painesville, removing the headlights and taillights and racing, then repeat and drive it home?
You know,
Wow.
Bill Dale Marsh driving his Sportsman down Mantle Road from Gibbs.
Come on, the Sportsman?
Sportsman.
He drove a Sportsman down Mantle Road.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but
Him and Bobby Krause would do the same thing.
But you know what? That's what racers did back then. You know, we did whatever it took to get to the track.
Right.
You know, nowadays kids are like, Dad, we need a 26-foot trailer. We need a dually.
It's so bougie.
I know, it's great. I passed your son on the freeway last year. And you know me, I don't go over 60. I'm 60, 61. He come by me, man, and rocked my trailer, everything. I was like, holy shit, man. He must have passed me doing 90 mile an hour pulling a trailer. I was like, man, oh, man.
Look where he was going.
No, just in the high speed lane, just bolting.
Doing all these.
And this was through Avon, where 83 is.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, this is where he was at when he passed us.
I thought it was on the east side.
No, that was the second time.
Oh, okay.
The first time it was in Avon.
Yeah.
He
But,
pays his own insurance now, so whatever.
man, could you imagine what that bill is? Jeez, oh,
I
man.
know what that bill used to be.
So Jeremy Holbrook said, I used to drive my figure eight car every week down Mantle. So where did you live at? So you probably lived on like the casement side? Because I know Jeremy didn't live in that trailer park on Mantle. I know he did not. So in 1995, you get involved. Were you hooked immediately or did it take a while?
Well, I was there. I went one Saturday. I didn't miss a Saturday for I don't know how long.
Really?
Yeah, there's years and years and years. And I helped out Randy. At the time, him and Earl, they were sharing a car every other week.
And their dad was probably racing, wasn't he?
Yeah, Mike, he was racing Sportsman.
Okay.
Their oldest brother, Keith, he did all the motor work,
Okay.
and all the tuning and that. And I started learning and helping and whatnot.
And Mike was pretty good, man. Mike was
We were building new cars every year, and then the other brother, Frank,
yeah,
he started racing. So it was like there was nothing to do. 4 or 5 cars.
that's pretty cool.
Dumb. I don't know. No reason to build a new car every year, but we were doing it.
So let's say in 1995, you go there, you're there with Christina. So did that strain the relationship with Christina, the one that took you there?
No, I don't think so.
Because you know that happens,
She took me there. I hope it didn't strain it.
Yeah, but you know that happens a lot. A lot of girls are like, yeah, I love racing. And about the second week is like, I don't want this anymore.
No.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So the following year, were you there almost every week helping somebody?
Yeah, I started. Earl ended up we built a car for him. So then, they each had their own cars. So I set up both of them. And Keith was the motor guy.
Yeah.
I started doing suspensions and all that. And then we did that from 95 to 99. And then at the end of 99, I started helping Joe Corson out. And then we came out and actually right at the end of 99, we went down to Mansfield.
Wow. So when it just got paved.
Yeah.
Like it just got paved.
And Joe ended up leading 29 of 35 laps and blew the motor.
Oh.
Long ride home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Those ones sting, especially when you got that much.
And then in 2000, it was me and Joe. He ended up getting in a real tight points battle with Rusty Lawson. It was such a good time. We still didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Joe was a tremendous talent. He's one of the best. I've been pretty lucky to work with all talent, really talented drivers.
You know, Corson, when he went into figure eight, and not to get off subject, man, they roughed him up every week. Wasn't it like 3 or 4 weeks in a row they took him out?
He started in figure eight actually before I started coming there.
Jeremy Holberg said he was at Gibbs. He would drive the car from Gibbs to the
Everybody had a
racetrack.
shop at Gibbs.
And then
I think you were given a shop at Gibbs at birth.
and now the guy's charging. He wants to charge you $20 million to rent over there.
No water.
Yeah. And then Tony, what's up? The photographer Tony said, "What's up? Looking forward to this season. We all are." And I can't read any more out. Any other ones? Lord, just start throwing them up if you don't mind, because I don't want to slow everybody up. I want to keep going with Kevin here because this 2 hours is going to fly.
Yeah.
So, as a kid, were you really smart with that kind of stuff, though? Like, were you because you are a smart numbers guy and an engineer. You are.
Honestly, I was always, I was okay with numbers.
Please don't eat into the microphone. Holy crap.
Wow.
Let me know and I'll, go ahead, Kevin. I'm going to mute his mic.
She's going to turn it back on.
I just did.
I was always good with numbers, and I did a little bit of engineering stuff in school, and I always liked cars. I was playing with my Hot Wheels in the dirt till I was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about girls then. Go playing with cars.
We still do.
Yeah.
We still do.
Probably should have stuck with the car.
They would have just taken them from you at this point.
Honestly, when I started actually working on them, I was really intrigued about how the suspension worked, and why, not just what changes to make, but why they had that effect on them.
Yeah.
And what to use when and where.
How did you figure that out, though? Just working on the cars, or were you?
A lot of reading.
I was gonna say
a lot of reading, and I was lucky enough to have 3 cars to work on every Saturday.
Were you one of the guys to own one of the stock car racing setup books?
Absolutely.
Were you really? You remember in Stock Car Magazine, they would say, "You want to set cars up?"
Steve Smith's book.
That's it, Steve Smith's book. Yep.
I had one of them. Like I said, because I got myself in trouble a few times because I had 3 cars to work on and try to make changes, and sometimes they didn't work. And Earl or Randy or something, they'd come off the racetrack, and Randy was a complainer, but he had a point when he was complaining.
Yeah.
And Earl and I clicked like really well.
Yeah.
And it got to the point to where he would come off the track after hot laps, and I'd say, "Well, how is it?" And I could tell how the car was by his reaction.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It's not good.
Could you watch? Did you get to the point like now today? Can you look at a car and see what's wrong?
For most of the time, yes.
Okay.
There's a few drivers. Earl's one of them. Mayo was one of them. Joe was one of them.
Yeah.
They cover it up. If there's something wrong,
Yeah.
It's hard to tell because they're so good at changing themselves.
Yeah.
To get the car to do what they want it to do. And so you either have to rely on them being honest with you when they say it's good or it's not good, or you read the car.
I know you heard me say this before, and other people have heard me say this, but I really thought Mayo could have been a NASCAR driver.
Absolutely.
I really thought of everybody that had an opportunity to make it, I think Mayo was one of those guys. And some people would go, he was too mellow. Some people would say he'd lose his temper. We're race car drivers. That's what we do. But for the most part, guys that you're mentioning, Earl and the rest of those guys, they're all the same.
You can stand there with a stopwatch on with Mayo at hot laps and just click off laps, within 5, 10 thousandths of it every lap.
Wow.
And it's like, how are you doing that?
Yeah.
Because at that time we had heavier cars on less tire with, less grip on the racetrack.
Did Mayo ever tell you what his favorite track was?
Probably. I don't remember.
he was badass at Painesville, but he was really good at
I
Lorraine.
know he liked Lorraine.
Yeah, he was really good at Lorraine. A lot of guys like Lorraine because it's racy. You can move, you can go around guys.
Right.
So, Bill Harkins, Duke, Souther's floppy. What? You took it off. What? Just say what he said.
Southern's floppy disk setup. I still have it.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. So that was the other guy.
Yeah.
You get that? Okay.
I put another comment up there about Mayo.
Yeah, I learned a lot from the old Circle Track magazine.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of reading and trying things, you know. And one thing I told Zach when he started getting into it, you know,
Don't say it yet. Let me get to Zach. Don't say it yet.
probably the biggest thing that I learned that I wanted him to understand is if it doesn't make sense on paper, try it anyway.
Yeah.
You might find something.
So Bill said Mayo is Painesville. Kenny Phillips.
Painesville's Kenny.
Yeah,
Painesville's Kenny Phillips.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kenny Phillips, man, he was a wheelman too,
Two
man.
drivers that should have gone big time.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bill.
The first time I met Kenny Phillips was at Lorraine. Mayo was running Ron White's outlaw car.
Yeah.
And they ran, what was it, 100 lapper or something like that. And it was Mayo, Kenny, and who's the guy that drove the 30?
Brian Volk.
Brian Volk.
Yeah.
They were standing there talking to each other, and I walked over there to ask Mayo, talk to Mayo about something. Mayo was drenched, head to toe, just sweat.
Yeah.
And Brian Volk, same thing. Kenny Phillips is standing there, dry as a bone. I'm like, how are you not sweating? You know? He was just that good.
He's just relaxed.
Yeah, he was that good.
Some of those guys are so natural at it. You know, they don't sweat at all. So all the years, so from 95 until Zach started getting involved in racing and helping. Does Zach help you a lot around the garage, or he wasn't that kid? He did it.
He was in the garage when he was 3 years old.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. Him and actually his oldest sister, Holly, I used to let her run a rivet gun when she was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know, and you just, here, fill the holes with these. And
Yeah.
you'd have to go through and cut the studs off and then re-drill it and have her do another one but she was doing them. You know?
So was Zach becoming a natural at it, or you know what I mean? Was he?
Yeah. And then he actually started with his mom and stepdad Jeff.
Yeah.
And they actually got him his first car. I was on a 3-year hiatus.
Did you really?
Yeah,
Just had enough at some point?
yeah, I mean, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, you get to work and too much and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So I don't remember what year it was. It was probably 04, 05, 06, I think.
Just took a break from it.
Yeah, I don't think I went one time.
Did Zach bring you back into it?
No.
No. So how'd you get back into it again?
Earl called me up one day and it was, I think it was the beginning of 07. And he called me up on a practice night and he's like, will you come fix my car?
Wow.
That was all it took.
It's pretty cool. It's got to be pretty cool for you as a dad, though, to see Zach. He learned from you,
Absolutely.
and he's a hell of a driver. People,
too much like
yeah, yeah. He was kind of surprising on the show when we had him on there. He was very vocal. You know,
He's very honest.
yeah, and that's the way you are too. You know what I mean? But seeing your son being that successful in a sport that you've been involved with, it's got to be pretty cool.
And that's one of the things I was thinking about today is, you know, a couple of years ago, you know, I did everything I possibly could to help him win 9 features in a row. And now I have to do everything to keep doing that.
Do you really?
You know, I don't want him doing that no more.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was cool. It was cool to win 9 features. Not in a row, but 9 features in a year.
yeah.
It was great. I don't want to see him do that no more in the position I'm in now. So,
Well,
Yeah.
and the thing is, what people, and we'll get to the Painesville Speedway thing here in a minute, but what people realize about you, you are level-headed when it comes to that. You're honest. No one's ever going to say to you, oh, Kevin Myers let this guy go, or he likes this guy better. That will be never, if someone says that in the pits, 1, they don't know you. Number 2, they don't belong there then. Because you are the most upfront, clear as day it needs to be. So, but what is your proudest moment with you and Zach?
Probably, it would have to be his first feature win. He was in the Stratus. We bought Hunter Combs. We bought that the orange car.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it wasn't orange. It became the orange car, and Earl and I went halves on that, and with the intention of Zach driving it. Zach couldn't keep his grades up. And I told him, I said, if you don't bring your grades up, you're not racing the car.
Wow.
Sure as shit. He didn't bring them up. So Justin Phillips drove it at Paynesville.
Oh, that had to just eat Zach alive.
I listened.
Did it change
him? I
him?
learned the hard way.
Did it change it though?
No, absolutely.
Did it? So
Justin won the championship that year. And then following year, we put Zach in the car because he brought his grades up and whatnot.
you hear that, parents? You hear that?
And
Jeremy, you're right. Jeremy Holberg said Kevin is very level-headed.
we went out to Lorraine, and that car was just heavy, underpowered, and that was the year that Michael Parks was just dominating it.
Yeah.
Lorraine. Zach got the lead in the feature. And that car, I mean, it was so underpowered, he just stayed basically wide open around the racetrack. Parks had to start way in the back. I think Zach was a couple rows from the front, and he ended up getting out front. Watching Michael coming, and he's coming and coming and coming. Mike tried to go from the outside to the inside, going into 3, and got into him, and Zach held his ground, and Michael got all screwed up, in the feature. I was on live Facebook, and I started going nuts. I was running through the pits. That was probably my favorite moment.
That's awesome.
His first feature.
That's awesome.
I dropped an F-bomb on the mic out in front of the stands, but I wasn't even thinking about it.
Dude, you're so wrapped up into the moment
Yeah.
that you're not paying attention to really what's going on.
That was probably my favorite one.
In 2017, when we were at Paynesville, I asked you several times to be the race director, to be up in the tower.
Right.
And you kept saying no. Back then till now, you've done so much, even from 17 till now. The 2017 Kevin,
Right.
would you have been able to do it? You had a couple things going on. You couldn't do it because of your job and things like that. But that 2017 Kevin, would you be the guy you are today?
Probably not.
In 2017, you had a lot going on and things like that. But knowing the Kevin you were back then, if I said, hey, Kevin, go up in the tower, could you do it the way you are now?
As you age, you kind of look at things from a little bit farther back.
Yeah.
And even then, it wasn't that long ago, but kind of still had the blinders on.
Yeah.
You look at things a lot different now.
Over the years, like you said, as we all get older and mature and stuff, especially with racing, there's not all of us, and even the people that are watching right now, most of the drivers, they know racing.
Right.
They know when someone's doing something. They know when something's not right. They know what calls should have been made. And I'm not saying they're armchair quarterbacking, but a lot of the guys that are watching right now know the sport,
Right.
so they can do that. But how did it come about with you and Scott with Paynesville?
Well, I ran my mouth a little bit too much. Got myself into the situation because I was basically just sitting by him in the pits, and something happened on the racetrack, and we disagreed with who got the blame, or who should have gotten the blame, or why did this person do that, and I said, well, I would do this, and this, and then we start discussing why racing is in the condition it is in, at the time.
Yeah.
And what we would both do different. We kind of were on the same page, as far as, and I've heard a couple people say that, that we want to take it back to, how Gordon Allen ran it.
Yeah.
Which you really can't do that. You can take the principles maybe.
Yeah.
But it's still today.
Yeah.
It was a different time back then. They called it class trophy stocks for a reason.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't do that, you know, and the cutting the cost is huge, you know, for the racer. So you've got to find a way to cut the cost for the racer to get more racers there.
Do you feel like you guys did that this year?
I hope so, you know, and between a little bit of cost cutting that we're able to do without making everybody obsolete.
Yeah, yeah.
If you combine that with reducing the variety of classes to get more cars on the track at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you said, you're putting on a show. Nobody wants to watch 4 cars play follow leader.
They really don't.
I mean,
They really don't.
no. And trying to give a little bit like for our compact division, namely, give a little bit to the Warriors and to speed them up, take a little bit from the current Chargers, slow them down, and bring them all together. You know?
What you're going to learn with that this year too, and I want you're going to pay attention on your own, but I'm going to point it out to you, and you're going to text me one Saturday night and go, now you got me doing this. You're going to be sitting in the tower, and you're going to be looking down at the fans when there's a certain division out, and you're going to start noticing when fans are getting up, when they're sitting down, what classes are they walking away. They're talking amongst each other instead of watching the racing.
Right.
And that'll help you guys the following year. You're always going to remember that, which I used to do, and it drive me nuts because I'm supposed to be watching the races in case I got to make a call. But I'm also watching the fans. What classes are they getting up to go get beer and that stuff? And it bothers me that they get up at all because you just paid $10 or $12 to get in.
Right.
Now you're going to get up during a race, you know, and that used to bother me. Jamie Lawson says, I got to get with Kevin to see what he can do with this 93 Nissan Sentra. Can he run it at Painesville now? Is there any class he can run a Nissan Sentra in?
As long as it's not a turbo.
Is it a turbo?
As long as it's not turbo and not all-wheel drive.
Yeah, it's probably all-wheel drive and turbo. Aaron Vitello, 2026 season is going to be for the books. Can't wait for the Cam 2 to be burned. Absolutely. And listen, you got to give these guys the opportunity to get going. On opening night, I don't want to see you guys on Facebook bashing Kevin, bashing Scott. And I know there's going to be if you see somebody on Facebook bashing Kevin and Scott and everybody else that's put their hard work to open this place up, to get it open, let them have it. Don't be nice this year. Facebook is not the place to be venting anymore. And listen, me of all people, Kevin, you know, I've always been against Facebook bashers. I can't stand it. I do not like having drivers thrown out. What did I tell you? Fine them. Keep them there. But if you're on Facebook and you're bashing a track and you're ripping them really bad, you should be banned from the track because you're not helping. You want to help? My philosophy is you want to help Painesville Speedway or any other racetrack, go ask Kevin if you can get a job. Go ask Scott if you can come work. Then see this side of the fence. How different has it been so far, Kevin?
I have seen things that I've never even thought of in the last few months. And I tell Scott every time we're down there, because we spend a lot of time at the track out for work, the more you look, the more you see.
It's so true, man.
It's like, man, there's just so much to do.
And I said to Scott, you couldn't have found a better guy to do your position because you're so level-headed. You know the business. No one can question you know what you're doing or what you're saying in a driver's meeting, but it's going to change you, Kevin.
Well, you know, I'll listen to everybody. You know, you have an opinion, you have a gripe, you know, just I'm up in the tower. You know, walk up in the tower. I will listen to anybody.
After racing.
Do
not walk in that tower during racing. Do not bother Kevin. Did you guys find a pit shoot guy yet?
Possibly. I was talking to a guy the other day.
That's important for you.
I don't think he's ready to release that yet. So
yeah, but I do think that's important for you to do your job. And you and I talked about this before. I think the two most important people at the track is the pit shoot guy because he communicates with you up in the tower.
Right.
Both you guys see what's going on the track. Guys come screaming up, yelling at you. So you need a pit shoot guy. And I'm not being mean because I love Keith Platts. But if you went up to Keith Platts on a Saturday night and asked what time it was, he would go, "Get yourself a fucking watch."
Yeah. I specifically remember sitting there over in the pit chute, and Donnie Atwell pulled up over, by the pit entrance. Keith Platt comes walking out, and you hear Donnie yelling something, and Keith goes, "Why are you fucking swearing?" Top of his lungs. I remember that specifically. So
For me, Keith Platts to me will be the most. I'm going to use the word entertaining, but what is the word when someone's very vocal and outspoken? There's a yeah, we could use that word. You'd be sitting in the stands by the flag stand, and when he start yelling at you, everybody heard.
Yeah,
everybody heard you, man. So to Keith, he did very well. I mean, that's the way you needed it sometimes, though. Keith is the guy you needed sometimes there, even though you don't want to be yelled at. Sometimes you needed that because us drivers made it difficult on you guys. We'll make it difficult on you guys. Bill Harkin said, "This season will be the biggest eye-opening experience in racing Kevin will ever have." And Bill, amen, brother. Amen. So going back to you being up in the tower and everything that's going on, it's going to change you a little bit to the point where I hope I don't hear you say, "I'm shutting my phone off tonight. I don't want to hear it." And I don't believe you're going to be that guy, but the Kevin we see sitting here today, I want to revisit in 6 months.
Well, there's a few people that have been hanging around the trailer for the last couple of years. They've heard me say plenty of times, "That sounds like a Monday problem."
Yeah.
And that's the attitude that I'm going to have.
And
if something happens on Saturday, don't call me on Sunday.
And actually, Gordon taught me that.
You can call me Monday, whatever. That's fine. You need that day to cool down, because it's a Monday problem.
So we got a comment. You ready for this? Robin Platt says, "Not nice, Jerry. However, he was laughing at Kevin's comment."
Because he remembers.
But Robin knows I'm right. Like, listen, I was the guy, if Keith was in the chute and something went around, I'm not pulling up to Keith. I'm not, because I know what's going to happen.
Keith's voice just projects.
It really does.
Like it's almost like everything went silent. And that's all you can hear is Keith's voice. And we'd sit over there, get it, Yeah. It's hilarious. Love that guy.
But how many drivers you think, honestly, they wanted to say something to the pit chute and they pull up and see Keith and go, "Man, I ain't doing this tonight."
Sometimes I feel bad for Peanut, thinking about what he's got to deal with at home.
Yeah.
I love Keith. Yeah.
I wonder how Keith would tell him to clean his room. We need to come up with a Keith Platt's voice yelling all the time. "Dad, I didn't clean my room today." And then Keith just let him have it. Come back the next day, the room would be painted and clean, spotless. But yeah, I mean, Keith was one of those guys, but you need someone that you can click with.
Right.
Because the drivers on opening night need to trust you guys. Right. And they're going to because of you. Whoever you put in a pit chute is, if Keith Platt said to you, "Hey, your right rear tire's flat or your camber's out," bet your ass that's what it was. Keith Platt didn't just send you off the track because he didn't like you. I mean, he may have done that to me once or twice, but that wasn't Keith. So you need that guy that people learn to trust. So hopefully you guys get that guy. What is your favorite class so far that you've been putting together? What class are you look forward to watching this year? And don't say all of them. Don't be politically correct. What is your class that you're looking forward to?
I want to see the street stocks come back. Obviously, there's a couple guys that are building a few new cars.
Yeah,
which I haven't heard of any new street stocks being built in a while.
Yeah.
So I know Mike Henderson's building 2 or 3 of them.
Is he really?
So, yeah. So.
Is there any guys coming out to run that class that we haven't heard in a while?
I'm hoping it's okay to say, but Brian Brown's coming back.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He raced modified for a longest time.
Yeah.
he messaged me about a couple things about the rules, and he said that he actually said Painesville was one of his favorite tracks.
Wow.
You know, and he's one of those guys that, as far as I'm concerned, you know, you go to the racetrack and it would be, you know, you'd see his car and you don't really know him,
Yeah, yeah,
but you know the guy,
yeah.
you know, and that's, you know, I've talked to Brian a couple times. I'm excited to have him come back, you know, and there's a couple other people that are talking about, you know, coming back, and then you got your regulars. You know.
So in your compacts are called what? What do you guys call the compacts?
Right now they're just compact.
Okay.
I think that's actually, I'm probably most excited about that one because of the changes that we made to try to bring them all together.
And it seems like it's been completely positive.
So we have larger fields. And the idea with the rules with the compacts is you can take the cars that we have and you run them in one class, and you can make changes, but you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so the slower compacts you have now, I mean, they have options available to do to their cars that they could not spend any money at all, even to speed them up if they want, or they could just leave them.
We have an open this question's for you.
Okay.
This is from Donald Cather. Is it open street stock rules?
No. You can basically the street stock rules were probably the most difficult because Scott had a vision, and instead of just saying this is how it's going to be, you know, you got to adapt right now. We got to kind of work to that. Okay, so you know there's basically going to be, you know, 3 different engine classes. So you'll have your base engine, you know, to what amounts to the identical to the figure 8 engines. You'll have your crate rule, and then your built motor is what we're calling it. And basically, you can take whatever is running out there now. You put the either a 2101 or a 7101 intake on it.
Okay.
You can run it. You know, you got to add a little bit of weight, and you take a little bit of left side, but you don't have to completely rebuild your car just to come run. You know, and we try to do that to get more guys to be able to run without spending a bunch of money.
So didn't you do something with the shock rule too for street stocks, or did you leave the shock rule alone?
I think I have to go back through.
While you're thinking, Steve Sandy said street stocks is a bunch of douchebags
with too much money.
with too much money.
With too much money.
Well, I was actually on the phone with a girl the other day, and I told him, I said, you know me, I have fought against these rule changes since day one.
Yeah.
Because that is half the problem.
Yeah.
You know, because the drivers, they want, you know, well, you should let us have this. And since you've got this, you might as well let us have that. You know, and then, hey, since we're doing this, why don't we go ahead and, you know, give them that? Well, before you know it, you got $3,000 rear ends in the car.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and the racers kind of did it to themselves, and the tracks by not saying no, and even the racers not saying, hey, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
That's how we ended up where street stocks around here is such a mess, you know.
So my green shocks on my car, are they legal?
No.
You suck, man. A second. I bought you pizza, bro. I mean, you gonna let me slide one night?
You're trying to bribe them? It's not a
Listen,
fair bribe at all.
I remember right before I went to Midville, we were here working on the car, and you were looking at my shocks, and you go, "Those will not be legal for Painesville."
I don't think they were legal for where you were running.
They were.
I was just going to say that.
Everybody in that class was running them. Everybody had the same exact shock, I believe. I think they're the same shock Earl has, isn't it?
No.
Earls are more expensive, more high dollar.
More legal.
Yeah. Now he's looking.
I think that's
Who's Earl?
I think that's proprietary. But yeah, you gotta. I mean, obviously, the racing, the situation with racing around here is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody has an answer. You know, and I'm tired of hearing, oh, go dirt racing. You know,
Oh, that's what Jeremy
It's-
Holbrook just
yeah, and-
said.
What do you say?
He just had on screen, let's go
listen,
dirt racing.
Listen, I like dirt racing, but we're not dirt racers.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole dirt versus asphalt argument is no different than circle track versus drag racing argument. You know, some guys they just don't want to go dirt racing. You know,
Yeah.
and it's cool, it's great.
I tried dirt and
I would actually like
Man.
to work on a dirt car.
work on Holbrook's car. You ain't gonna be doing nothing on Saturday nights.
And you got to tweet it on Sunday.
That's true.
That's the biggest problem with me not going dirt.
I'm gonna hire when I do race this year.
Right.
If I have a chance to race, which I probably won't have a time to even sleep, I'm gonna hire Bill Harkins to be my crew chief because he just said paint him yellow and put
A Monroe decal.
a Monroe decal on him.
Little blue sleeve on.
Yeah. You're hired, Bill.
This
Jeremy Holbrook said, Kevin said I was a dirt racer years ago.
I did absolutely.
Did you really?
Every year I have a Facebook memory. Him throwing in hot laps, throwing this 3,600 pound figure eight car into turn 3 sideways and just riding it out. You know, and I believe Jeremy should be dirt racing.
He loves it.
Extremely good at being sideways.
He loves it. I'm working my ass off to get him to build an IHRA late model or sportsman.
Yeah.
I'm working really hard to get him to do that.
That's
But
just-
yeah, he loves the dirt.
That's not this area. I mean, it's Pennsylvania and New York and parts of Ohio. They're just saturated with dirt tracks.
Yeah.
We don't have enough people, enough cars to be able to add to that. Because you would have to pull away from those tracks to make dirt tracks around here successful.
Harkins also said 3,600.
Was it on a diet?
Was it on a diet? That thing should have been 4,600. It probably was 4,600.
It may have been.
Jeremy, will you tell us now? So, but yeah, so your compacts, what are you thinking about the figure eight class? What's your thoughts on the figure eight guys?
Well, I mean, clearly the way I see it is the figure eight is our premier class. We're the only ones that have them.
Yeah.
We've got those guys they're badasses.
Yeah.
I told them to their faces in the meeting. I said, you guys are just phenomenal at what
Yeah.
you do. I've raced in figure eight a couple times. It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's scary as shit.
You're always on the edge.
And the first time I drove a figure eight car, I drove Tim Corson's car, and I remember coming through. I went through the X down and I wrapped around the tire going into 3, and I'm just going along, and I thought I was flying. Here comes Jeff Marvin, just right around me like I was sitting still.
It makes you question yourself, doesn't it?
I thought I was doing good. Jeff was driving that American flag painted car.
Yeah.
Blew around me like I was going the other way. I'm like, apparently, I'm not a driver.
But you know what? But you can't decide off of that because of
Yeah.
Marvin and Holbrooks and
Right.
all these guys.
Yeah. So
They got it figured out. Like they're Mike Reed and they got it figured out.
absolutely.
It's like
So
those are the guys like Jeff Marvin. If the race ended and you walked out of there with the cash in your hand and said, I want to buy your car sitting right here, he wouldn't do it.
No.
He would not, they would not sell it to you. So how are you feeling about the car count for figure eight?
Good.
I know you were having a little dilemma for a while with what are they called?
The old school.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough call. I mean, I wanted to run them all together. The iron and figure eight guys, they want to make sure that who they're racing with has complete control of their car. So they would agree to it as long as everybody's on the same tire. Because the G60 gives them a lot more grip in it. I'm okay with it.
Any new cars coming in that you know of for figure eight, or is it pretty much?
I think there's 1 or 2.
Is there? Good.
Who was it? Randy Hibbert.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So
I think he's coming back to figure eight.
Bill Harkin says, Timmy Lohr took the brake pedal out of my figure eight car the first time I ever drove it. I think that thing's very important in the figure eight, So Laura, I'm going to let you do that when we get to that point. So let's talk a little bit about, have you guys figured out how much it's going to be to get in or anything like that up front or in the pits?
We're still discussing that. I mean, as far as, and costs and purse and all that, that's, for one, it's still up in the air, and that's not my department. I told Scott, that's, you took on the responsibility and, of making this dream happen. And so it's kind of up to him to figure out.
I did tell you, we got some messages of guys saying,
what
"Hey,
we can do." I mean, because obviously, you have to make a buck.
Yeah.
But you also got to make sure that people can still come.
Yeah.
And so I think if we make it a little bit easier to get people in the gate, they're gonna want to be there.
They're gonna spend the money anyways on beer and hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff.
With a little bit of rule changes that we made, to condense the classes, and they're going to be running dashes again. And heats and pursuits. More
that place needs that so bad.
The more on track activity is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a couple other things that we're doing to make it just a little bit more fun to be there.
Well, I want to clear something up that a lot of guys talk about. I'm going to let you answer David Pierce real quick, though. Cannot put a 15-inch tire, an 03 or newer Crown Vic to run G60s. Brakes are too big. You can address that.
Eric Lehman has a Crown Vic that he put G60s on.
Okay.
I did ask him, I said, are they sticking out real far? And he sent me pictures, and they're really not sticking out.
Okay.
It's possible.
Okay.
According to Eric.
All right.
I was supposed to go over and look at the car just to make sure, but I haven't had time. And that with the cold and the weather and whatnot, it's just.
One of the things I want to clear up that I've never heard you guys say, and this has been the elephant in the room for a couple of weeks now, is everybody thinking that you win a race, you have to give your money back to the racetrack. That has never been said.
It's 100% voluntary.
And 100%. And if some people mistook that, I don't know how you can mistake it, because it's never been said.
Right.
It's never said, hey, save the track, put the money back into the track. Scott knows that the drivers need to be paid, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of respect what you guys are doing with the purse, trying to figure it out and get it done. So when you do release it, it's right. And I just see some guys saying, we're not worried about we're not really worried about the high purses and that, we want to go racing. But I'm hoping when the purse comes out, those same guys are level-headed and go, hey, at least we got a place to race.
Right.
And listen, I'm not trying to show my age. Didn't matter what class you raced back in the day, you got a trophy.
Right.
It didn't matter if you were Bobby Karen or Marty Helm or Tom O'Donnell and you're putting all this money in your car. And I know you remember those guys.
Yep.
Those guys would win every damn week. And never at one time did I hear them say, my trophy's too small, I want a bigger trophy.
Right.
It was just all about the fun. And I'm hoping that's what you guys are going to bring it back to that. And I really think with the rules and everything you guys are doing, I think it's going to get back to that. But the people that are out there going, I'm not going out there to race if it's only $100 to win. I'm pretty sure that you're not paying $100 to win a feature. And let's just say for a second you did. I shouldn't say this because on the internet tomorrow it'll be $100. You're not there. You don't race for money. Yes, the money helps. The money helps. We all love to get paid at the end of the night or whenever we get our checks. But to the guy that was talking to me the other night going, man, I'm not putting this into my figure eight car and I'm not going to make money. You didn't put the car together for money, to go race for money. You did it because you love the sport and you have passion for it.
I've heard far too many people say recently there's no true racers. I don't believe that for a minute. I think you just got to kind of change the attitude a little bit.
Yeah.
I made the observation recently that a lot of people show up to the racetrack in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Because they think they're going to get screwed over. A lot of them have gotten screwed over, and our intention is to put a stop to that. You're coming down there because you're capable of having this equipment
Yeah.
and knowing how to make it work to do this stupid little thing in a circle,
Yeah.
you know? And while you're doing it, you should be grinning ear to ear,
Right.
you know? Who cares how much it costs or how much you're getting back?
Right.
You know, you're doing something that most people can't do,
Exactly.
you know?
How many people show up, sit in those stands wishing they could get out there and do what you do?
Absolutely.
And I used to say that to my drivers all the time.
Mhm.
Those people sitting in those stands are coming here to watch you guys because they can't do it.
And there's a few people in them stands. If you put on a show, they're going to say, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So then you've got more cars
You know, I think,
because you want to race against more cars.
yeah. And I think you guys are down that road. I just wanted to really address where we forgot where we came from
Right.
with racing. To me, it's very important that we used to race for trophies, you know, and I know the cars ain't the same and we have a lot more money in them. But at the end of the day, we're doing this for passion.
Right.
We got it. And somebody in this room, and I don't want to say their name, but called it a freaking hobby. And if you call this a hobby, you shouldn't be doing it. This is not a hobby. There's nothing about stock car racing it pisses me off beyond belief when I hear someone in the stands going, man, you liking your hobby? I will push your ass down the grandstands. Do not call it. I'm telling you, Kevin, there's nothing that bothers me more when a race fan, a wife, a husband, anybody in the family or a friend, hey, you going to do your hobby this weekend? I hope you get hit by an RTA bus and drug for 100 miles. Us racers, we are not
That's violent.
hobby racers. This is not a hobby. Even the compact cars that back in the day when you just took the glass out at Lorraine, and when I started them over at Paynesville with the Batemans, it wasn't a hobby.
Well, you're putting yourself into that car. You know, when you find a car and you know if you build it from scratch, you're putting yourself into that car.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's more than just a hobby. You know, and you're going down there not just because you want to do it, but because you want to see your friends and family.
Yeah.
Watch you do it.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look what I did. Look what I can do.
Right.
You know.
And listen, Paynesville, to me, you can talk about Bowman Gray and all these other racetracks, but I have said this since the day I started racing at Paynesville. If you can race Paynesville and beat those talented drivers out there, you can go to Lorraine and win. But until you can win at Paynesville, don't try to go anywhere else.
And you know, honest, I was trying to remember. I don't remember every year, but I think most of the Lorraine cavalcades that I've been to have been won by Paynesville drivers.
Yeah.
Or street stocks and basically street stocks.
Yeah.
They go, you know, and about the only ones that I can think of that weren't Paynesville. Bill Sprague, he was racing at Lorraine at the time.
Yeah.
He won the Lorraine cavalcade. He's still a Paynesville.
He's still a Paynesville guy.
You know, Jeff Fate, you know, he grew up on the east side.
Yeah.
You know, he's still from over here. You know, he's won the cavalcade. But it's most of the ones that I can remember, as far as street stocks go, the cavalcades at Lorraine have always been won by Paynesville guys.
Just so you know, the 97 cavalcade winner is sitting right here. Thank you. And she hasn't shut the computer off yet. So, but you're right. But Bill Harkins, I don't want to miss some of these. Bill Harkins said, all tracks are forgotten yet, but he said what Kevin said right there about the one in the stands that want to do it. The single reason why under 15 should cheap to get in the stands. They are the future. And Bill, you're right, man. You can't let them in for free, but you got to I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I know over at Killcare.
Most tracks are 12 and under with a discount.
Yeah, I think at Killcare I'm going to do 10 and under, to be honest with you. Well, everybody knows I'm a cheap ass. I'll probably do 7 and under free.
And then there's like this back and forth here between Jeremy Holbrooks and Steve Sandley. So I'm like,
so I did see Jeremy Holbrook say, Steve, I beat you.
Yeah.
I beat you once. I'll beat you on dirt or
and
something like that.
That's the rebuttal. There's like something going on there between.
If they wanted to
Figuring dirt.
watch crybabies, and they can go hang out at a daycare. Some of these racetracks are daycares on there. So getting back to what we're saying though, just be patient with Scott. Scott's been around this sport all his life. Just be patient with him. He's going to get it, but don't start already being negative on things. Let it play out. But if you're going, and I understand, especially figure eight cars and street stocks, how much money you guys put in these cars. So I understand it, but also understand the track needs to survive. It needs to keep going. Insurance is through the roof nowadays with racetracks. And someday I'll explain the insurance at racetracks. It's just not you calling anymore and just grabbing insurance and going. It's a whole big process now for insurance. But yeah, I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing. It's going to be a stressful year for you. I don't think it'll be stressful for you. For Scott, I think I'm going to see Scott at the end of the night, the concession stand in the back drinking.
Like I said, I mean, I avoid reading the comments.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the attitude.
The problem with Scott is, and like, I don't want to read comments. Scott don't want to read comments, but our brains force us to go do it. You can shut that off. But Scott and I and other people that are in our positions, for some reason, we have to see what everybody's saying. But I said a long time ago to another guy that I was training to be in that position, you can't take it personal, because this person is running his mouth about you on Facebook. You can't take it personal. You got to just let it go. They don't know behind the scenes. They don't know what everybody goes through. So when they're going, oh, he's his favorite driver, so he let him win the race. 9 times out of 10, it's not even close to that on there. But some people, what is
I have a question. Can you
Sure.
ask? Can you ask about that on the schedule? I'm curious.
what is this here?
Mm-hmm.
King's Ransom Buckeye Buggies.
Oh,
Can you tell us about the King's Ransom?
Well, that's two different things. The Buckeye Buggies is the go-kart class.
Okay.
They have the full cages.
Okay.
They ran them at Lorraine
Okay.
last year. King's Ransom race, Scott had an idea to give back to the racers, and I kind of threw together, we're calling it, and it's not quite done yet, we're calling it the royalty program
Okay.
for our racers that show up all the time every week. You know, you got to make sure you give back to them. So
Yeah.
Scott's idea was to have a random $1,000 to win feature race.
Yeah.
We were originally, we're just going to pick a random night. But we're going to try to do at least once a month. And we haven't figured out how exactly. I'd like to get the kids involved to let them decide.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to know which division is going to be 1,000 to win that night until you get there that day.
That's pretty cool.
You know,
That's pretty
it
cool.
could be anybody.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of an incentive, and along part of the royalty program, King's Ransom, you have the Queen's Gambit, and Scott, what he wanted to do was, if you have perfect attendance throughout the year, you'll get a bonus at the end of the year. At the end of the year, in the points fund for each driver.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know, because you're making that sacrifice to show up every week and help the track put on a show and stay alive. And that's, at the end of the day, everybody's seeing what's going on around here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we all, no matter what money's spent and what money comes in and what money comes back, if we don't do this together, we're going to be another one on the list.
Yeah.
You know, and then we're all going to be going to Midvale.
Man,
I don't want to drive 100 miles every Saturday just to go watch racing.
Right.
You know, I mean, I grew up at this place. You know, my kids grew up here.
It's a family racetrack.
My kids grew up at this place. Their kids are growing up at this place, and it needs to keep going.
Yeah.
You know, and it's going to take all of us. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, money's just, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
You know.
At the end of the day, everybody should be excited that it's reopening, that it's getting going. Scott was like me. We had a relationship with Gordon. He learned from Gordon. I learned from Gordon. Like you said in the beginning, you can't do everything that Gordon did, but you get the premise of it. You can use his schematic, if I should say it the right way. But
Honestly, he's probably going to be mad at me for saying this, but I think Scott's brain works a lot like Gordon's did.
yeah,
And that's a positive.
yeah.
Because Gordon made it work. Clearly, you have to make it work a little bit differently now.
Yeah.
It ain't 1996.
But you guys know, you and Scott already know by bringing, I'll read that in a second. That the dashes, the pursuits, and the heats,
right.
that's what Painesville, you can't say that about every track.
Right.
But Painesville Speedway, you can say people love the pursuits.
Yep.
They love the top 4 fast guys out there for it. Painesville is the only track that I know people used to rave about the pursuits. They loved them, man.
Drivers, they want to be on track. They need to be on track. You can't go down there. Kenny Bender, I had asked him at Cavalcade this year. I said, what would you do to make your experience at Painesville better? He goes, I need to be on track more.
It's true though.
I'm asking my sponsors to give me $500,000. They show up, they see my car once at 6:30, and they don't see it again until 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
He goes, how can I justify asking them for money?
Yeah.
And if they have to leave early, they saw my car one time. Get us on the racetrack. And that's a perfect way to do
it. Joel just got on here and said the engine builders are way expensive. Yeah, I agree, man. Engine builders are just through the freaking roof, man. I don't know. Now I know why Joel lives in a 5,000 square foot house. Joel's house is so big he uses a golf cart to get around the house inside.
There was one thing that I wanted to mention about the pursuits. I want to do. It's not final yet, but I want to do something a little bit different. It's always been the top 10 qualifiers.
Yeah.
Run a pursuit race, slowest on the pole.
Yeah.
Fastest in the back. What I would like to do is have a rotating or a variable car count in the pursuit races.
Okay.
And it could be anywhere between 7 and 12 cars.
Okay.
And finding that number, I had talked to Scott about, like rolling a dice.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to get a big inflatable dice and let one of the kids do it.
That would be pretty cool.
Because you have to have 6.
Yeah.
And then if you roll a dice, you get a 1, you got a 7-car pursuit.
Yeah.
You roll a 6, you got a 12-car pursuit. And it's going to change it up every week. And it's definitely going to screw the points up every week. So you're not going to have that 1 or 2 guys starting on the first or second every week. So it's going to around. So just kind of check the show up a little bit.
That's actually a pretty cool idea. You got a guy, Robert Wormold wants to know, assuming the banquet from last year is not going to happen. You know anything about what's going on with the banquet?
Junior said something about possibly doing I saw he made a comment on something about doing a passing of the torch thing at the track, but I don't know.
Okay.
So,
you guys are working on it pretty much?
Kind of. Anything prior to 2026 is kind of leaving that, up to them.
Okay.
And it's from here on out, it's Scott and I and everybody else,
Donald Cather wants to know, he says, if the car is out for a week, but you still go there, how's that going to work for the every week deal? It just knocks you down. He's saying about if you're being rewarded for being there consistently.
Well, what we're doing is we have a 19-week racing schedule, and each division will be on the schedule for 18 weeks, and you're allowed to drop 2 of those.
Okay.
So, like I said, and nothing's final yet. So you'll either need to be there that full 18, or minimum 16.
Okay.
That's the hard part about making these changes is
you
can't really finalize anything until it's time to, go racing. Because as soon as you think I got this great idea, it'll work. Somebody comes in and says, well, what about this? And you're like, oh, I didn't think about that,
Yeah. I hope that answered your question, Don. We have about 10 minutes left. So if you want to ask Kevin anything, just let us know. She'll put it up on the screen for us to talk. Steve Standy, let's start racing next week. Steven, I've been telling these guys to throw up pop-up races since November. Have I not? Did I not come on the track last week and say we should have won?
Yeah.
Throw some pop-up races out, man. But I get it. You guys don't want nobody there until it's complete,
Right.
until it's ready to go.
There's a lot that needs to be done. A lot of things need to be fixed.
Can you just leave the gate open one Saturday and just you and Scott stay away for about 3 hours? That's all I need.
I'm sure the insurance company will love it.
I think people are going to be excited about a lot of the changes that the physical changes to the
Yeah.
racetrack. Like one of the biggest complaints that we saw was people waiting in line for food. That was a problem. So Scott had this idea of changing the concession stand around a little bit. So you're basically going to have 3 different places, 3 different lines you can get food and drinks from. So you can go there.
That's pretty cool.
You're going to have 2 short lines for the main concessions, and you'll have a beer and snack line.
Yeah.
Over in the bar.
Okay.
And whatnot. So if you just want something real quick, popcorn, nachos, whatever, you go over there, grab them, go back to your seat, watch racing.
Okay.
Because it was a problem. I know for me personally, I come walking through the pits, and if I got to the gate, to going out front, if that line's too long, I'm turning around and go back the other way.
And it costs the racetrack hundreds of dollars a night. It really does.
And plus the people that are in that line, they're missing the race.
Yeah. Parking lot drag, shopping cart races, hot dog eating contest, anything?
You want to hear about hot dog eating contest?
Oh boy.
We do have on the schedule quite a few parking lot drag nights. That's
Okay.
Scott's favorite thing. So do that.
Just do them entertaining. Just don't line them up and go, okay, everybody, do them the way I do them. Just make them actually make Scott go down there with a microphone. Because Scott is actually, a lot of people don't realize this. Scott is actually very funny.
Yeah.
He is very funny, man. So he would be the guy I would, predict.
But I think there's a couple of bike night races, bicycle.
Bill Harkins right off the rip. Jerry loves his glizzies.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have a Jerry Smith glizzy night. I believe Scott did decide to go ahead and do the destruction race.
Okay.
We're going to call it Carnage at DeVille.
Okay.
It's not just going to be a trailer race and a demo derby. I know we've got some ideas for some other alternate style racing. It's going to be pretty.
20 seconds ago, I trademarked DeVille, so you guys owe me $82.
So there's enough of that going around.
I was just gonna say, dude, seriously.
But, actually, Jeffrey Jr. He wanted to get involved in some of that too. So
Let him.
yeah,
Let him.
and, it's going to be fun.
I was trying to think. People don't realize how. I got to say this the right way. How am I going to say this? So right before I decided to buy Will's race car, I had the purple car in the garage, and I had some discussions with you, and it just wasn't going the way I wanted it to go because you stick to your guns on things. So I went out and I got this car. And I haven't raced in 27 years. I was off for 27 years and not get behind the wheel of a race car. And I asked you to please help me with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And my first race out, I won the heat race on a flat tire.
Yeah.
And from that day, even till today, when I was thinking about this, your cars are set up so good when you do them that I didn't even realize the frickin' tire was flat until I went down the backstretch. When the green came out, it stuck. And I went into one, it went good. Coming off turn 2, it got loose. But the Midville race, let's talk about Midville. Yeah, stop a second. So let's talk about Midville. I get there.
Exactly what you did.
So you were busy, but I felt the car wasn't where I needed it to be. I tried following Earl in the first practice, and he just took off. And you were busy helping Earl and doing something else. So I decided to crank on the car. I decided to put the ratchet in there and crank on the car a couple times. And I went out there and the car was I thought it was bad the first time I went out, but I got a hold of you and I'm like, man, I don't know what I did. But then I went out there for the feature. I was supposed to start on the pole. And you and I discussed that, and you were like, this ain't the time for you to be starting on a pole in a wheelman race. So this wheelman race, we decided I'm going to scratch to the back, which was the best thing to do. But I followed Earl, even in that feature, I followed Earl for a couple laps, trying to figure out turns 1 and 2. But whatever you did to that car, it stuck. I mean, that car, you seen, I put that car anywhere I wanted to. But as the race went on, I was passing cars, I was moving up and having a good time. And I remember sitting in that car just racing. And I'm a Hummer or I'm a Singer in the car, but I was talking to the guys as I was passing them. And I was running my mouth, Kevin. And as I'm passing them, I'm like, get out the way, bitch. Just move your slow ass out of the way. And I was having you had this car set up so good that I wasn't even, and I'm sure Earl and Randy and all that, they feel the same way I do. You're so good at doing this, but that car was going anywhere I put it. But I don't know what you did with 17 laps to go, because that car came out from underneath me and bounced off the wall. So I don't know. Did you just set it up for like 23 laps and that was it?
I think you had your left boot on the right foot.
I love how you're blaming everybody but yourself.
No, it was my fault. I said to Kevin after the race, that was my smart mouth. That was my karma. Hey, wait, I was the first Natalie Decker of the season.
I think I showed you the in-car from Tristan Craigo.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened. You know.
Yeah, I see it, dude. And listen, not those guys that run in that series and Wilman series, they're bad dudes. They are bad. Don't take off Bill's thing. I'll read it in a second. The Wheelman guys, they're bad dudes.
Bill or Joel?
I can see Bill Harkins right now.
Okay.
But to run with Tristan Craigo and Billy Roberts and all those guys have been doing it and almost passing them until I made my mistake. It was pretty cool, man.
Well, honestly, I think you had a good car. You were better off making your debut in that car than you would if you would have done that in a purple car.
Yeah,
it would have been different. You would have hated racing.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had a good car. It's just you have to find what you like.
So when you
in the car,
and where I was leading to all that, you're not a person that likes to take credit and pat yourself on the back. But don't you sometimes, when Earl wins a race or Corsa won a race or Randy or me or anybody, don't you sometimes just like walk away and go, yeah, I did that? Don't give the driver credit for a second.
Maybe internally, but like I said, I've never worked with a bad driver.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Did I do that?
Yeah.
Or is the driver, is he that good? But there's been a lot of them. Like I said, Earl, Joe, and Mayo, Zach. I noticed. I started watching Zach's in cars when we put the cameras in there.
Yeah.
And he learned a lot from watching the guys that I got to help.
Yeah.
Because if you ever, and I haven't posted on YouTube, and if you watch his in-car videos, he's with his hands, he's just going like this.
Yeah.
And a lot of drivers don't realize they need to do that. They're just jerking this around, and you're not helping yourself. So,
and that's the way it was.
May have had a part in making the car that good, but I've never had.
You got to take the credit, man.
I've never dealt with a bad driver.
You had that car, like when the green came out and I went into one following Earl, it just turned from where it was earlier in that day. But have you ever, I don't want you saying names because I don't want a Facebook nightmare all week. Have you ever had a driver come up to you and ask for your help and you give it to him and you went, oh man, this person just don't have it?
No.
Or has everybody pretty much been?
No, I don't think so.
That's pretty cool, man. It tells you, how good you really are or what you do.
Well, lately you don't get a whole lot of people walking around asking for help.
You don't?
I don't know what it is. It used to be there was always somebody, hey, can you come look at my car? Or they'll ask you a question, my car's doing this. What do I do? You need to learn a lot. You need to have a lot more information than,
Yeah.
hey, my car's doing this. So if I always try, and Zach does the same thing, because I told him, if somebody comes to you for help, that's
Yeah.
not an easy thing for them to do.
Right.
Help them.
Yeah.
You know, if you got to walk over there and look at your car, you know, help them. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to accomplish the same thing. And if that guy can't control his car, he's probably going to end up hurting you. You know,
You know, back in when I first started racing in '84, I think Scott said he started racing in '85.
Yeah.
You know, there was a couple drivers that would help you at Painesville, but for the most part, man, you couldn't get near. Like today, I see guys walking, and we're gonna see this in the comments. I see other drivers walking the pits without even asking. They'll lay and look underneath someone's car.
Yeah.
You've seen it. I've seen it.
that's rude.
Man, back in the day, they would have kicked the shit out of you for looking up underneath their car. They literally would have dragged you out and beat your ass.
I'm not afraid of you finding anything.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's still rude. You know,
It's like you do your own damn homework too,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
Many years ago, and I wish I could remember the year, Jeremy Holbrooks, like I didn't even really know him. I was running figure eight and I couldn't figure it out. And I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man, can I look underneath your car?" You know, he's like, "Go under there and look."
Listen, Jeremy is on another planet.
Yeah.
He called me one day and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to race figure eight Lake Erie. You want to go?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So he's like, you know, meet me at the shop and then we're going to leave at this time. So I went to his shop and, you know, I'm ready for, we, you know, we're ready to load the truck. His truck's already loaded. I look in the back of the truck, there's a jack and a four-way. Went all the way to Lake Erie Speedway with a jack and a four-way. That's the kind of racer he is.
Yeah.
You know, like
Do you remember how you guys did that night?
oh, well, I think that was the night that he got somebody in the X and completely destroyed their car. I
Really?
think that was that night.
Wow.
You know, I think the guy was, if I remember correctly, it looked like he was going to stop, and at the last minute he went.
Oh boy.
And, you know, but that's a different kind of racer. You know, I got to have all the tools,
Yeah.
you know, and everything to fix shit. He just shows up with a jack and a four-way.
Wow.
You got a lot of faith.
But
in
you know
your
what?
race car.
Back in when Jeremy and all them, those guys didn't like you looking at their cars.
No.
You know.
No.
Let's go to some questions real quick.
I'll go back to that one. That was a really nice
All right.
nice comment.
Give credit where credit is due. Joe's always said he's had some of the best cars when Kevin's helping on it.
Aw.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
I'm more shocked Haley has just made a comment that was kind and sensitive. She'll follow it up. Watch. She'll follow it up with something good. Give me another comment for Kevin.
It's popping up in a second.
Bill Harkin says, what about having the glizzy slingers
You'll keep reading.
and the
He's-
popcorn
yeah.
slingers and other concessions being sold in the stands like the olden days? And listen, Kill Care, I'm going to try to do that, Bill. I really love the philosophy of kids out there selling food, because a lot of people don't want to get up and you're gaining that person that doesn't want to get up anyways. And listen, it's a point of sale that we did very well with at Mansfield. A lot of people, they're not thinking about it, but if they see a guy going by selling beer or a hot dog, they're going to buy it. Normally they wouldn't buy it.
Because sometimes people don't want to miss the races.
Exactly.
So if the food's right in front of them, they're like, okay.
But the way Painesville's going to do it, they shouldn't have much to do.
Right.
Joel said he will come out and help you guys, even if it's not one of his engines. And Joel, I believe that. I totally believe that about Joel.
Absolutely.
Completely believe it.
This is a good comment.
Okay, Mike Reed. Kevin, I want to cheat and you're not going to do anything about it. No, he did
No,
not say that.
no.
He did not say that. I'm afraid to ask because Kevin is
Intimidatingly good.
good. I feel like I should know enough about setups in 40 years of racing.
Even though
My
it's
screen
embarrassing
keeps
to ask,
black.
he goes, even though I know Kevin would help.
You would.
Mhm.
You would.
Absolutely.
And listen, man, Mike Reed wouldn't need anybody's help.
Mhm.
Is there anybody, Mike Reed and those guys, that generation, they were badass, man. When you came to, I bet you those and I didn't race figure eight in the beginning when Mike Reed and his family did. But when you showed up, it was Marvin, Reed, Kevin Bach,
Joey.
yeah, Joe Marsh, all those guys, man. When you showed up and those guys were there, you knew it was going to be a long night.
People miss, I think, the best part. Most of the people now miss the best part of racing in Paynesville in the late 90s. I think that was the best.
Was it?
Yeah.
See, my generation guys, I love that tough nail, tough,
Yeah.
Joey Marsh and all those guys in that
Yep.
era, that 80s era type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the guys to me. So let me tell you a quick Joey Marsh story. So when we were kids, like
Such a thing. Quick Joe Martin story.
I'll try to make it short. We all lived in Madison,
Mm-hmm.
and we all knew Joey Marsh lived up on the hill.
Right.
And as a kid, you're like, every week you're watching Joey Marsh or George Puskas or Gordon Allen or Kyle Matson win these races. You're watching it every week. It's the same guys battling. But as a driver, you're going by Joey Marsh's house and you see him up on the hill in his race car running a dirt figure eight or a circle up there, practicing during the week,
Right.
learning the car and doing it. That's why he was so good, man. And I'm not saying that just that. I mean, he's a talent. At the end of the night, Joe Marsh is a talent. But as a driver, aren't you a little intimidated? You're going home from work and you look to your left, you see Joe Marsh up in his own yard doing figure eight racing.
Right.
So to me, that those stories like that are pretty cool. Those guys that did that back then. It was Saturday night to those guys and Friday night to those guys.
It was everything.
It was everything. And I know you guys are going to bring that back. Bill Harkins, LOL, Princess should be reading these for Jerry. He's hooked up phonics. No, the screen keeps flashing.
On phonics isn't working too well.
The
I have
screen-
to read it again.
For some reason, I think the light or something is streaming it. Like it's messing it up.
Mhm. Is that the story you want to go with?
I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Zach, I'm not saying this to your dad.
It's hashtag ask.
I have to
KJM.
ask you.
So ask KJM anything.
Where does the forehead start and where does it end?
You'll find out soon enough.
Damn, Zach.
That's wrong to ask your dad.
I mean, your son's gonna have a decent ride this year. That's
Yeah.
a good ride.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the biggest pain in the ass again.
But I don't think I was at the shop the other day because I had to drop a car off for Marty. He's like, Jerry, you can look at this car. You can send Kevin to look at this car. It is going to be completely legal for the rules. He goes, Zach is a great driver, just like he said the last year's driver's name. But he goes, Zach is a good driver. Anybody that wants to come look at this car can come look at it.
Brandon Weagle drove it.
Yeah.
No, I think he's bringing his own car out.
Is he?
Zach's going to have some competition between Brandon's going to be out. Bobby Kraus, they want to come back. He'll be there. A couple other guys. I know Hayden's coming back. I think Brandon Nails might be coming back.
Let me ask you this about your son. All the years he was racing, not helping you, but racing, is there ever a father and son moment where he got a car and you said, what the F was that, dude? Do you remember a moment where you went, what are you doing?
Yes, but it wasn't a bad thing. It was the week after we got in the big wreck at Midvale. The car was freaking destroyed. It was bad. We decided on Thursday to fix it for Paynesville. Beat the body panels out. Rick Piercy's gave us a couple upper control arms because they were both folded up.
Wow.
And finished putting the car back together when Hot Laps was starting, on Saturday. And threw the thing in the trailer, drove to the racetrack, didn't set the tires, didn't set the sway bar. He goes out there and stopped qualifying.
Wow.
First time.
Wow.
So
it wasn't even set up.
Yeah, I'm like, and I said, what are you doing? He goes, what? I'm like, you're fastest. He goes, how? He goes, I handle like shit. I'm like, I don't know.
Wow.
But yeah, it was what the F are you doing? But it was a good thing. So he doesn't really make many mistakes in the car.
But fathers and sons or fathers and daughters or whatever, when they're out there
There's some
racing.
shit he did in the shop that was questionable. I can tell you that much. But
Yeah.
as far as in the race car now.
I remember Denise Williams and Huey fighting sometimes in the pits, yelling at each other, getting really heated. You ever in those moments with Zach?
He yelled at me once and I left.
He yelled at you?
Yeah.
You laughed or you left?
I left.
Oh, left.
I don't remember what it was about. He yelled at me once. That was the last time. I left. I didn't go back.
I bet he was looking for you all night going, I know he's coming back.
He watched me leave.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I said,
Wow.
you're on your own. So he had the race all night and he packed it up himself and brought it back to the shop, put it away. Don't talk to me like that.
Lane did that to me last year. You and Lane would be texting or something, and I would say, man, it's doing this. I should do that. You're not touching that car. Kevin said, don't touch it. If you touch the car, he's never going to help you again, this and that. And I said, Lane, relax. I have to make some kind of adjustment to go out there. You better not touch that car, Kevin. So fathers and sons, we get that, but Mylene said, Painesville, it was our life. We lived it. And she's right. Gary Horace racing, we had a great time, all of us racing back then, but she's absolutely right. And we've said this many times. Painesville Speedway is a lifestyle. It's not just a racetrack.
Right.
This is people's lives.
Yep.
The people in the local community love this place. They love the drivers. And I'm hoping this year that it gets back to the history of it with the way it used to be.
Scott is big on the history.
And
The Hall of Fame and all that stuff.
I know someone asked earlier, reading into it, but were you guys going to bring back the programs?
Yes.
Okay.
It will be the weekly number of programs. We have articles and pictures and keep track of points and all that stuff.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's got what he wants to have, kind of the nostalgia feel going on.
Yeah.
For the guys that, the people
Yeah.
that say, man,
The fans
I used
loved
to
them.
go there. It was so great. We had this and that, and we want to bring it back.
The fans loved them. And listen,
And it's something to autograph.
yes.
Love that.
Right.
Yes.
Speaking of programs, the old-fashioned programs, next Tuesday we have a special guest coming. We have two great guests coming in Tuesday night. One is Craig Brackman, who's involved with the Painesville Speedway historical page and getting people into the historical museum and stuff like that. And everyone, sit down, brace yourself, because you think I talk, but next week's guest is going to be fantastic. It's going to be Bobby Conklin. We're going to talk Painesville, Cloverleaf, Lorain, Sandusky. We're going to talk a lot of racing. So what I'm suggesting next Tuesday night, order your pizza, get your food at 7:00. Get Bada Bing Pizza, Dynamic Duo, Home Time Slice. Get some pizza, but with Bobby Conklin, you heard him on the loudspeaker, and he would sell a program, dude. Because remember we had the lucky number program. They had the lucky numbers in there, and Bobby would take a hot dog. If you have number, we're going to give away a free hot dog for the next number that we're going to go out. People would go buy programs. He'd make that hot dog sound so important to you. So Tuesday night, we're going to have Bobby Conklin in the studio along with Craig Brackman. We're going to have a lot to talk about. But Kevin, it was a pleasure tonight, man. I'm looking forward to this coming year. Thank you for helping me last year. If I could get you to bend the shock rule a little bit, probably not.
Well, probably not.
Joel.
Just make sure you're to the rules, because I'd told everybody in a meeting, you make sure your car is legal. Because as a race director, I have no business in the tech shed.
And at the end of the day, too.
Once you're off my racetrack, I cannot help.
But at the end of the day, people know if you say you're going to tech, and teching, it kills racetracks.
Yeah.
To me, teching is just as important as anything else. So if you have to disqualify one of your friends to make a point this season, so be it.
Right.
You gotta get that credibility.
Well, any disqualifications are going to be on the tech officials. Right? So,
Who's teching for you this year?
Ernie Havner.
Okay.
There. Scott will be in the garage.
Okay.
Got a tremendous amount of knowledge of these cars. And I believe Joe Cranston might make an appearance or two.
You guys got an announcer yet?
Brian Douglas.
Brian's coming back for sure.
I don't know how he did it, but Scott got Brian to come back.
I think they got some kind of relationship, friendship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's some more comments popping up.
Okay, we'll do some more comments. Mike Reed, the old lucky number programs were awesome. You felt like you were buying a 50-50 ticket and you actually got something for your money. 100%.
Yeah, and I think we had made a couple of discussions about using the lucky number programs. Is have pictures in there that the kids can draw. Maybe have a coloring contest.
Yeah.
Want to get the kids involved, you know, and get them to do more than just sit there or run around and whatnot. So
Can we put on the programs? It's okay to color outside the lines.
I know prior comment, Zach said you're
Oh,
you must-
Denise,
you must
thank
be
you.
a-
I love you, girl. But Denise, do you remember? And I know you were going to go, I fought with my dad all the time, but there was a big blowout at Painesville Speedway with you and your dad. I wish I could remember the whole thing, but I remember you two just yelling at each other back there. I think it was, did she have an orange car? Orange and white? I think, Denise. I'll wait for you to answer. If Jim Miller says, if Saturday is a washout, will you run Sunday?
most likely not.
What the hell, man?
Sundays are extremely difficult
Come on, bro.
because at the end of the day, we got jobs and families and whatnot.
You know this is like a drug to us, bro.
I know.
It's like a drug. You can't tell a crackhead, hey, man, come back tomorrow.
Sunday is the
That's-
Lord's Day.
That's probably one of the biggest things is going to be Saturday only racing.
Yeah.
It was, the idea of the last couple of years of trying to make the two tracks work together is, it's great. It's a great idea. I don't think it worked out that well on paper because a lot of times if somebody says, hey, what time's racing start? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where are we racing? I don't know. Can't have that, So we get back to the consistency of Saturdays, 6 o'clock, be at the racetrack,
We're kind of,
It'll be cheap to get in. You're not gonna get that much entertainment for what you pay to get
Yeah.
into Painesville.
we're not going to have that. We have the same, well, we have a little bit different issue. So Kilcara will be racing on Friday nights.
Right.
Can't race on Saturday because a lot of guys are going to go to Shady Bowl, but also the drag strip.
Right.
Because we're all going to be sharing the facility
Right.
on there. So that's going to be, Denise, I think I remember the fight was the green dropped and somebody pushed you into the wall and something about your dad told you that it was going to happen or something like that. And you started yelling at him actually on the track, I believe. And I might be wrong on there. So I think that the green came out and someone shoved you right in the wall and you and your dad started arguing about it or something like that. But if I'm wrong, I apologize. So we'll just take a couple more questions and we'll get out of here. I told you once Laura crashed it, man, that was the end of it. I got to make up for the 15 minutes you were down.
This segment alone is an hour and 59. So now
Oh, we got plenty
we're
of time.
technically at 2 hours and 10 freaking minutes.
Got plenty of time, man. People were just sitting at home working on the race cars in the
Well,
garage.
do you want to go through a little bit more of the schedule here?
Go ahead while we're getting more
Is there
questions.
anything else you want to highlight, Kevin?
Well,
Some big races.
we actually there was a request to move Autism Night to opening night because April is Autism Month.
Oh,
We're going to
that's
do that.
okay. So you guys are doing that for sure?
Yes.
Okay.
There's something else that we don't have confirmed yet to replace Autism Night on May 30th. Something very similar, but and I believe on what day was it? I think it's July 18th, which is the Connie Kerr Memorial Night, Bobby Cross's race.
Mhm.
I think we want to do extended laps for the compact cars that day. And I need to get the figure eight division off of one night of points. So I think we're going to have a ladies' night crew member figure eight race that night.
You and I talked about this, and I think we should do it. I think we need to convince Scott to do this, and I think the fans would love this. You came up with a good idea about repoing a racer.
Yeah.
This is what I think, because the guy's already in the car. You stop him on the backstretch, and nobody, you can't hear him. You're sitting in your car, you can't hear the announcer. But you ask the crowd, which car would you like us to throw a red and repo him off the track in the middle of a race? And you go out there and you repossess his car and take him off the track.
For Carnage night, make sure we stipulate this is carnage.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like any
Yeah, I think that would be something really
We're
cool.
going with Mike Reed's car.
Everybody knows Mike Reed's tight ass pays his bills. Denise said, but on that Carnage night, I think it would be pretty cool
Yeah,
to let the crowd to pick out.
Yeah, we want to do a couple. I mean, a couple of the ideas I've seen them run, you know, at other tracks, and you know, there's a couple that you know that we've come up with
Yeah,
a little bit different. And, like that's one of them.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
You know, the run it from the Repo Man or whatever. You know, I want to. There was another one, King of the Trailer Park. I think we were going to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, to do the. You got to park your car up on the trailer as it's moving. And,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's one of them. There was a couple of them.
That's gonna be hard. Oh,
Somebody
sorry.
messaged the page. I don't remember who it was, but he had a list of ideas for that. And I was like, these are all really great ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, we're willing to listen to everybody. You know, that's the biggest thing is, you know, if you have a complaint, a suggestion, you know, an idea, just message the page. There's a few of us that'll see it. You know, we'll get back to you because there's really not very many bad ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or if you have an idea that, you know, sounds good on paper, well, maybe we can just do this and change it a little bit, and then you're contributing.
Mylene said we froze up for a second, did
I
we?
don't think so. I
Okay.
see that my phone and
Denise said she wrecked real bad at Clover Leaf. I swear there was one that she did at Painesville that pushed her off, but
I just threw a question.
will the Outlaw figure eights be back?
Not this year. I didn't realize it when I found out either. That is a huge expense to the racetrack.
Is it really?
Huge.
Their purse is huge.
No, to get them to come, yes.
Is it really?
Didn't I read like 25,000
Yes,
or something like
yeah.
that?
It's $25,000.
$5,000 to get them to come to the racetrack.
You'll figure eight guys will do it for half off and put side panels on the side of their cars.
Right?
Sure they would.
Mike Greed will put
They
the whole
would
freaking side of a
probably-
house.
They would probably drive naked for that. I mean, it's an awesome show.
Yeah,
I think this year there was a threat of rain. I think there was only 9 cars, so it's like,
yeah, yeah,
you know, it's like right this year, not on the table.
yeah.
I mean, if things go well, we have a good year. Next year, maybe. You know, it's like Scott's not just automatically against doing things.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's just you have to make it.
He's
work.
definitely open to
Yeah,
suggestions.
you just have to make it work. You know.
So far, so everything that you've done at the track, what is your favorite thing that's being done? I know you're putting a recliner in your tower so you can sit in a nice recliner.
Actually, we haven't really done anything to the tower yet.
You haven't?
I have plans. You know, just want to paint it. You know, make it nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably my favorite thing is the pit shack. We took the transponder shack and the pit shack where Mr. and Mrs. Platts were.
Yeah.
Took those out and we moved. There was a bigger building that they had for Frankie that was behind the green shed or the canopy in the concourse area.
Okay,
That's going to be your new pit shack. So
that's pretty cool.
more of a pleasant entry to the pits.
You got plans coming back for anything? The husband
yeah,
and wife?
they're still gonna be doing that.
The pitch shack?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we can all mess with Keith a little bit. Just
There's nothing like pulling into pits with a big smile on your
Oh,
face and
yeah.
Keith going, "What are you looking
Yeah.
at?"
I mean, I look forward to Saturdays getting to the pit gate and messing with Keith.
You know, Robin's giving you change back, and Keith's like, "He don't need no
Change?
effing change.
What
What
are
do
you
you need
talking
change? Or
about?
back in my day, we didn't
I've
have
never
change."
gotten change.
When we went to Lorraine the first time, I was like, wow.
She didn't
that guy-
know.
I was like, that guy really freaking hates you.
But then she watched everybody else in line. He was doing it to everybody. But it's great to see him out there doing that.
Right.
One of the things that I convinced Scott to do was for the pit spaces, they're going to be a little bit wider.
Okay.
So you're going to have like 2 less spaces on the main fence,
Okay.
but everybody's going to have just a little bit, you know, a couple feet more room. Because when it gets busy through there, everybody's packed on top of each other. You can't even check your car out. So it's just there's little things like that that you know we've decided to change.
I said, this is going to be your final question of the night. You ready? Everything that's gone on at Painesville Speedway since you started going in 95 to right this second, what is your highest moment? What is your moment?
Zach winning the race that Bobby Kraus had Mayo's name on his hood.
That's pretty cool.
That was probably one of my favorite pictures to take.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And Mayo was he was a real special dude. So
Yeah.
he means a lot, you know.
He's definitely missed in the racing community. He's definitely that laugh, man.
Mayo was a friend of everybody.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he had any enemies.
I would say, wasn't there? Would you give him a hug or something? Was that the race where you gave him a nice hug, Zach? Yeah.
Just about every time I'd pick him up off his
Oh, you did? Okay. I thought there was one specific race that really got to you. You were giving him a hug.
Oh, what was that picture you sent us today? Ever the first picture?
Oh, yeah, that was his first feature after the track reopened.
Okay.
Angio's got it.
Okay.
When you were there.
Yeah.
And that one meant a lot to me.
That's pretty cool.
Because, I mean, over the last couple of months, you know, we've heard there's been a couple people say, well, you haven't lost your track. You don't know what it's like. We did lose our track.
Sure did. Sure did.
That sucked.
Yeah.
Because, and for a majority of the people that race at Paynesville, it's right there, less than 10 minutes from home. You know it's there.
Wouldn't you say like 80% of the drivers are within like
Yeah.
15, 20 minutes of the
Right.
track? Yeah.
Exactly. And it's right there in your backyard. And you can't go there,
Yeah.
do what you want to do your hobby.
Yeah. Oh my God. If you're just joining us before we go,
It's taken out of context, Kevin.
I'm going to
okay?
say this again.
Like, it's not what I
Do
meant.
not call stock car racing
I
your
meant-
husband's hobby, your wife's
You
hobby.
don't pay all your bills with.
It's
Racing is
still
what I meant.
not a hobby. It's a sport. Stock car racing is a sport. And I can't stand. I had a lady with her. Oh, we're going to go see Johnny do his hobby this weekend.
So, and anyway, we did lose our track.
Yeah.
We don't want to do it again because I can guarantee you, if we lose our track again, it will not come back.
Yeah. This will be
The
it.
city and the township, they will not let it come back.
The township, you know, especially with all these brand new houses. So if you remember what it looks like, if you don't live around here, when you get off the exit, you make your right or your left and you get off the exit. But I want you to know they're building a lot of houses this summer over there.
They put a model home up last week.
Did they really?
Right,
But
right next to the church.
I don't believe you need to be testing fate anymore. I think it needs to stay open, work with the township the best that you can. Even though I think that I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about the trustees, but just work with them the best that you can to keep the place open.
Somehow we all have to figure out how to make the racetrack part of the community
Yeah.
and get it accepted, because it wasn't accepted for the longest time.
Yeah.
You know, and because the people that don't go there don't understand the family, the camaraderie.
And I think Scott can do that.
Yeah.
I really do. I think Scott's the guy to do that.
My God, he's going to Columbus to talk to the representatives. I'm not sure on the date, but he said he's going down there and talk to them and try to get that
law
race
change.
bill,
Yeah.
right to race bill passed.
Yeah.
You know, he give him his same.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're coming here to look at a house, you know it's been here for 50 something years.
But listen, I would be more worried about the dog food plant smell than the racetrack.
Right,
You
right.
know, because that's every day.
Yeah, yeah.
The wind blows that towards that direction.
Yeah.
You know, who cares about a little bit of noise on it?
Right, right. Could you imagine sitting on your porch? You're like, what the hell's that smell?
Yeah, what does that smell? You know, it's horrible. Everybody that goes to Paynesville knows that.
Yeah, yeah.
There's always that one night where the wind's blowing the right way. And it's
Yeah.
like,
I wonder if the realtors
Terrible.
say that when they're selling the house. I don't know.
The realtors are probably looking at the weather that day going, shit, the wind's coming this way.
yeah, the
Not today.
Hey.
dog food plant stinks every now and then, and the place across the street, the ground kind of glows in the dark sometimes.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
So, but just let that go. Don't
That-
drink
that's
the water.
fine.
So
Don't eat the fish in the river.
thanks for coming in tonight. We appreciate it. I'm glad we got to clear the air and talk about some good memories and stuff. But I really hope you guys I believe you're going to have a very successful year. I really do. When the chances arise, we'll be there racing. How is that going to work? On the nights I'm going to race there, you got to set my car up. How's that going to work?
Actually, I had this conversation. Somebody asked me the other day for a little bit of setup help, and I'm like, honestly, I really can't help anybody right now.
That's bullshit, bro.
You know,
I'm going to get you fired now.
It's just,
I'm getting you fired.
They would always be in the back of my mind.
I
Or
know.
help
I
somebody,
know.
and they went down there and just, started doing too well.
Yeah.
And that's-
You wouldn't have to worry about that with me, though.
and that's not being arrogant or anything.
I know, no, but you're right.
I've always had an issue with whatever appears to be favoritism.
Yeah.
So, I want to go out of my way to make sure that it doesn't even look like favoritism.
Okay.
Oh, I know a question you forgot to ask him.
What's that?
What's your favorite car that you actually built? Because a lot of people don't know that you've built cars. So
I've built a few cars.
While you're thinking, David Pierce says 2 neighborhoods going in by my house. That's 2 minutes from the track, both Fairport Nursery Road and the freeway to the racetrack. One is going in this year, already started.
I think that's what we were talking about. That model.
Damn. Damn.
And I don't know. We built so many. Earl's had a couple of rockets. And we did, actually, his brother Randy, we took his trophy stock and converted it to a Sportsman. And did everything, and the motor and the driver's box and then the front clip with their up control arm mounts, but left the 4-link 10-bolt rear end in it.
Okay.
And went down there, and 2 weeks in a row we knocked Kenny Bender out of the dash.
Did you really?
It's
Wow.
such a high off it, and
Yeah.
Kenny was pissed.
Well, I mean, he was one of the best sportsman drivers there,
Bill Sprague come walking through the pits, and he's looking at the back of the car. I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's got a stock 4-link in it still. That was
Wow.
probably one of the highlights as far as
That's pretty cool.
building a car and doing something with it.
Yeah.
Because Kenny's a king down there.
Yeah.
If you knock Kenny Bender out of a dash, you have done something.
Yeah. Well, you ain't kidding.
Okay. And 99% of the people don't realize that, but you will always have that.
That's crazy.
I mean, I don't think there was anybody that ever got around the oval better than Kenny.
Yeah, he was one of the best sportsman drivers. I mean, one night we're going to do a sportsman list here, kind of like we did the Mount Rushmore figure 8. We're going to do it with sportsmen's. But before I let you guys go, we got truck racing tomorrow. We got cup racing. Everything's at Atlanta this year or this weekend.
The truck race is at 1:30. The O'Reilly's race is at 5 o'clock. NASCAR's on Sunday.
And don't forget our good friend Denise Engel. She is the flag woman for the ARCA series, and she did fantastic at Daytona, waving that flag on there. She had beautiful weather.
We're gonna have a flag.
Who's your flag person?
John's daughter, Andrew.
Oh, Andrea's gonna be the flag woman. That's pretty freaking cool. Is she excited to do it, or is she?
Probably not.
She'll get the hang of it.
She'll be fine.
She'll get, as long as you communicate with her.
She's real low profile, so she won't be able to block any of the cars and everything. So.
Yeah. So aren't you guys moving the flag stand or fixing the flag stand or something?
Yeah, for the turkey leg, we went up into the tower and I sat down right behind Ray, who was flagging at the time. And I told Scott, I'm like, look at that. That's bad.
Yeah.
There's no quick exit from the flag stand.
Yeah.
You go sideways and you're not leaving the track area. You have to go sideways and then through the fence.
Yeah.
That's not good at all. So we're gonna cut it off, move it over to past the start finish line, and have a lot safer ingress and egress coming in out of it. That way, if she has to make a quick exit, she just goes backwards.
Okay.
It's like not
Not
in a good situation right now.
Who was the big flag man that we had?
Al Schmiddle.
No, and that wasn't Al. It was something long, Don or Tom Long or something.
No, I don't.
Bill Harkins will probably
That
remember.
was probably before.
This guy, I swear, had to be 340, 360, like
Yeah.
big as Chris Mize, if not bigger. He was a truck driver. He drove for.
Al Schmiddle was a flagman when I started.
Yeah. And Al, man, did you ever see Al smile? Because I never seen him smile.
Al, the guys that I would help work in the car, they would say all the time in the future go by Al, and they knew that they did something wrong because they would hear him hit the top of their car with the flag. Whack!
Man.
It said inside the car,
It
you thought
echoes.
the motor blew.
Yeah. And he never
Said there was a Don and he was large.
yeah. Yeah, I think it was Don Long. He was a truck driver. And I'm telling you, I'm not kidding you. He probably was 360.
So Robin Platts just said Don Long.
Yeah. I wonder if he's still alive. But man, there was no fast escaping with him, bro.
Mhm.
And he would sit there on the flag standing race, smoking a cigarette, have a hot dog sitting there. The guy just was, it was funny to watch
Right.
because he's smoking a cigarette and eating a hot dog while the races are going on and not even flinching, man. So, but thanks for coming in tonight. We appreciate it. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hope you got some questions answered. You're very welcome, Denise. For a few guys that are watching from the Dayton area, we are going to get Killcare open this year with some compacts, Crown Vic, street stocks, and modifieds and some late model racing. But this Tuesday is going to be a great. Randy Lett, where you been all night, man? Where you been?
He said better late than never. I just show up at the end.
Randy, we talked about you the whole show, man. We were trying to give you a free steak dinner and you never responded. Damn it, Randy. He's probably out in the parking lot waiting. But Tuesday night's going to be a great show. We're going to have Craig Brackman in and Bobby Conklin, the one and only, the voice of the Midwest, I should say, for stock car racing from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So
I have a Randy Lett story.
you tell us a Randy Lett story. Come on.
I love Randy. The first time I ever met Randy, it was one of the first times I went to the racetrack with Christina. The Letts always sat in turn 4.
Yep.
And we walked out into the stands, and I'm standing there, and she's talking to somebody. I didn't know anybody. And then I hear this voice go, "You like watching them races?" And I said, "Yep." He goes, "You want to do it horizontal if you don't move?" I'm like, "Okay."
That's Randy. That's Randy.
I moved.
So that's Randy. Randy just doesn't have it in him to go, "Hey man, you mind moving over so we can see the race?" Randy's like, "Hey man, you talking to God because I'm about to send you there if you don't move out the way."
He made his point in the most Randy Lett way he could.
But him and Chris, that's who they are.
Oh, absolutely.
That's who they are, man.
And that kind of gets back to the whole change in the narrative thing.
Yeah.
Because we all know each other.
Yeah.
And kind of cliche, but we are all one big family. We party like it. We race like it. We fight like it. We all come back like it the next week.
Yeah.
And that's what Scott's vision is. I mean, he's got a dream.
He's going to fulfill it.
We can't sit back and shit on this man's dream because he's taken on a lot.
Yeah.
To do this for us.
This year you guys are going to do fantastic. Just keep doing what you're doing. And and the thing with Randy and Chris, there's no in between with them.
No.
You either love them or you dislike them.
Right.
And Randy, I don't know if you guys know this out there, but Randy is funnier than shit, man. Randy, I used to see him at the gas station late at night when I was repoing, and we would sit and talk for a little bit. Man, some of the shit that he would say, man, you would and be funnier than hell, man. Even Kevin Lett, just as funny, man. So just enjoy this year, everybody. Kevin, thank you so much. Randy, we love you guys, man. We love you guys back, but we look forward. Your first race is when?
April 25th, weather dependent.
Holy shit, that's only like...
It's 66 days, something like that.
Holy shit, man.
I don't know how the weather is, so we're shooting for April 25th. I'd like to have as many practice nights as feasible with the weather. I'd like to do basically just some inspection.
Yeah.
And, if the track's in good enough shape, do some practice.
You and Scott just leave the gate open and I can handle that one night. You don't need to know nothing about it. Just shut your phone off, shut the computer off, and don't worry about all that noise you hear coming from the track one
I
night.
have to find a setup, guys. practice. You might need the extra practice.
Oh boy.
Really, the great thing is that they have racing every single week except for
Yeah.
July 4th. So everyone's going to have a great chance to get out to the track this year.
That place has to have racing every Saturday night. It has to. But everybody, will see you Tuesday night at 7 o'clock with Bobby Conklin and Craig Brackman. Until then, thank you, Kevin Myers. Thanks, Laura, for crashing the show like she did. I lie?
No,
Did I lie and say she was going to crash the
I'll
show?
work on making that graphic.
It's part of the show now. People expect when they come on, and I know they tell their spouses
Well, you should tell people
the first time.
our show, instead of saying our show usually about an hour, it's going to be an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, 'cause
I do two things. I hit curbs and I crash shows.
everybody, and I know everybody when they come on, they tell their spouses, just relax. I got 10 minutes. Laura's going to crash. She's going to crash the show. They're going to go off the air and come back on. So thanks for coming in, Kevin. We appreciate it. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Until then, good night, everybody.